everyone. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Attack the Talk episode, special Easter edition. Happy Easter to everyone out there. We are streaming live on Easter. What's up, everyone? Hope everyone is enjoying their Easter. And yeah, the adventure, the story continues as we're going to be finally finishing season 3, episode 4.
Yeah,
this will be part 3 of our episode breakdown and discussion. This episode's name is Trust. All right. So, of course, guys, we got to give you guys the disclaimer and the warning that there will be spoiler talk in these episodes. And, of course, joining us is friend of the show, Kyron. Kyron, what's up, buddy?
Kyron. Happy Easter to you.
Kyron is joining us live on chat. Kyron is our TikTok manager, so huge shout out to Kyron. Kyron, please tell us, how is your Easter doing, man? How has your weekend been? We would love to go out there and find out. Hopefully it's all well. But thank you so much for joining us, man, on this special Easter episode. So excited. And yeah, so we're going to be finishing up episode 4 of season 3. We gave you guys the warning about spoiler talk. And of course, you guys know we're going to go ahead and have probably a lengthy discussion, probably an hour-long discussion of the Q&A as well as the poll. So Kyron's saying that doing just fine, just resting. Unfortunately, got work tomorrow. Oh man, sorry.
It's fine.
I'm in the same boat right there, my friend.
Me too.
Yeah, we each got work, but
except I work late.
Yeah, you work late, huh?
Except I start work at 5.
Yeah, so I go ahead and I start work early. Hopefully, you don't have to wake up too early, my friend. But yeah, so thank you so much for resting and joining us, man. Yeah, we're excited to go ahead and continue on with this episode. This is a pretty big episode in terms of what we have been talking about character growth and the character. You're going to see that kind of that glow up, right? We talked about the glow up. I know that was one of our Q&A questions a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So excited to see a certain character's glow up in this episode. It's going to be like a flip of the switch. You're going to see that change, and I'm excited for us to go ahead and talk about it. Yeah, this is a big episode. But we'll go ahead and we'll get into the Q&A and all that. Before we do that, I want to ask you, Lex, how have you been? Been good?
I've been pretty good. I don't really have any news. I've been enjoying the sun that we've been finally getting again.
Exactly. The weather's been kind to us here in California.
I've been working out more now that I'm able to do that.
Nice.
And it feels really, really good. I just need to remember that I shouldn't be working out every single day.
Yeah, maybe don't.
I should probably take
start
rest
hard
day.
right from the get-go.
Yeah, because I've literally this is now today is my 3rd day in a row.
Okay.
And I'm like, maybe I should slow down.
Yeah, slow down maybe just a bit.
But I'm going like light exercise. Like it'll be like body weight or very lightweight because I'm still not allowed to do heavy lifting yet. But I'm excited that I'm getting close to being strong and healthy again. I'm excited to see all that progress and growth because I have so much to do.
Yeah.
And then, no, I'm really in my training arc. I'm trying to get back into it. You faced some
adversity, and now it's time to get back in there. You understand right now that maybe your limitations are still quite there, right? Yeah. After, working a couple days in a row. Yeah. But this is going to be your training arc, And
we're going to see what if I can actually go full in, full heavy weight after I talk to my neurologist next Monday.
There you go.
Monday.
Hopefully we get good news, but happy that you're doing well, Lex. I want to reiterate to you. I'll get to that, Lex. Thank you so much for the question, but I want to reiterate to our friend Kyron who's joining us. Kyron, I've been hooked, my friend. I've been hooked on Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
You guys are right. You and Lexi in particular. I know that you both told me that. Hey, what are you doing? You stopped at like right before the good part, right?
Yeah.
Virtual high five. Trying to clear this up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks a little blurry.
But
that's better.
Dude, yeah. So I'm at a good point right now where yes. I don't want to go ahead and give away too much in terms of detail, but so I'm at the point where I get to see the king go ahead and fight our older hangy earlobe.
I got the droopy earlobe.
Older man. And I saw just the beginning of that battle, and it already is awesome.
No, you're at a really good point.
Easy top 3 if it didn't take a hiatus. So here's the thing, though. They're going to be continuing the story, right?
Yeah.
It was announced, right, that the story is going to continue after, I don't know how long it's been. I know that it's been a while, right? So, hey, I feel like I'm picking it back up at a good point.
Yeah.
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 A lot of those characters I really, really enjoy. I was telling my buddy yesterday, I enjoy the moments where they're like mid-battle and there shows a certain sequence when there's like a slow-mo motion, like the slow-mo effect, right? But it's not just slow-mo to kind of like make the move dramatic. It's more to explain the psyche, the mental state, what's going on in the character, what the character's feeling and stuff like that, you know? And it's cool to see that narration in terms of like the mindset. You know, it's something that I appreciate.
Yeah.
It's cool to go ahead and find out necessarily what they're all fighting for.
The psychological aspects of war.
There's a funny moment too. Again, I'm not trying to give away too much, but when Knuckle is going up against the Tupi, right? Tupi's the larger royal guard, right? The one who's like the red monster. Oh, we're getting some issues here.
Look at me mid bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, it says that we're back, so.
Yeah, hopefully we're back. We're having a slight
on our end. Hopefully it's not
disconnect there on that side. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go ahead and go back. Hopefully we're good to go. Still loading over on our end.
Hoping that it doesn't like come up as like a separate.
I hope it doesn't, but it is what it is. Super weird how it's being very, very choppy.
Dang.
Well, looks like it's going to be one of those episodes. Great.
Yeah. Could be because of all the traffic going on.
We'll see. I don't know.
Because there's like people, there's like parties going on around it. Because obviously it's Easter. It's obviously Easter right now. So a couple of our neighbors have their families over.
Kyron, if you go ahead and kind of message us, just give us a thumbs up if things are good on your side. We hope so. We'd appreciate that. But what I was going to mention, though, in terms of Hunter x Hunter very quickly is that so the moment with Knuckle, who's a character who is very awesome. Thank you so much, Kyron.
Okay, cool.
But Knuckle is he's an interesting character. I like how he's obviously a very strong warrior of a person, but he also kind of is emotional. He also is, you know, I'm not sure what word am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a specific word, but he tries to really kind of rationalize why he's fighting and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. But no, it's over on our end too, Kyron. Sorry about that, and apologize to everybody else watching. That was weird. That we kind of got a weird little pocket moment of
at least we're
bad connection.
No, but that was.
But yeah,
weird.
It looks like we're good. But there's a moment when
maybe you're thinking of Passionate.
Knuckle is going in, maybe, but Knuckle is literally mid-strike, right? He thinks that he has a blind spot right now to Tupi, and he's trying to attack him, and then Tupi's essentially baiting him. And I think that his name is Tupi. He's the red, taller monster who can go ahead and kind of transform. But anyways, and then so the entire time it's this slow motion sequence where Knuckle is just like flying, and he's getting ready to attack. Tupi is also telling us, the viewers, that this moment here is a trap, right? But meanwhile, now we go to Knuckles, and Knuckles like, wait, I got this, I can do this, and all of a sudden it gets to a moment where he starts seeing certain things. He starts visualizing, wait, why is time moving so slow? Why is it? I feel so like I've never felt this feeling before in my life. This and that. And he goes, it's almost like this is the moment that you see right before you die. And so it's like a weird moment where all of a sudden, like, again, we're seeing it from this weird point of view. And I like that realization. I like seeing it. I like focusing on, like, the kind of, like, mindset of what the person's going through in that moment and
like
stuff,
their
right?
motivation and then, like, their planning and,
But there's plenty of moments like that. I don't want to go ahead and get too much into the story. I'm just excited, obviously, about Hunter x Hunter. But yeah, this isn't a Hunter x Hunter episode.
Yeah.
So
but we're all so glad that you're into it.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys are definitely right. But all right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on with this podcast because we don't want to be talking too long. But
we have plenty to talk. Yeah,
there's plenty to talk about. So Lex, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to you. You decide whether you want to do the poll first or the Q&A.
Actually, I'm going to start off with the thing that we have plenty to talk about is the Q&A.
All right.
So last week we asked you guys, we spoke about Marlowe becoming a strong ally had he survived. If you could bring back one character and write their storyline, who'd it be and what would happen?
Wow. So much
very
for that question.
in-depth question. This might be like the most that we're asking you guys.
So let's clear this real quick. Is that characters that we want to bring back, right? So it's not just that. It's also the fact that if you had the ability to bring this character back, how would you write their story?
Yes.
Right? Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, like how would them surviving like affect the story?
Yeah, affect the story, affect them as a character. All right.
So, we have from Eddie Hinston, friend of the show, Eddie.
All right. What does Eddie have to say?
Couldn't fit it all in one, so we had to make two.
Uh-huh.
He says, seeing Marlowe complete the oath he made earlier would have been epic. Imagine him being a huge player in the events that are unfolding right now.
Yeah, definitely. That's if he were to survive at that point. But again, this question is that they have survived the duration and now they're here at this point.
Now they're in like the current point in time.
Okay.
So, yeah, seeing like his resolve, I guess, just like coming into fruition would be really interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit more about Marlowe a bit, but should we go ahead and get to some more of the responses? Or should we just
I will say Eddie is the only one that says Marlowe.
Okay. So then very quickly, I want to ask you, Lex, Marlowe at this current point, is he associated in a relationship with Hitch?
Well, they're allies, but what do you mean? Like romantically?
Yeah, because remember before he dies, he goes and he sees essentially the light, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say what I was talking about with Knuckle, all of a sudden Marlowe too, right before he's getting ready to die, he realizes the thing that he cares about the most, right? And then I believe that he talks about Hitch, right? And let's say that again, the moment where he thinks he's gonna die, but by chance he survives, right? Much like how Flock did,
his life, flashes.
Irvin did, right?
Flashes before him, but he survives.
So because he has a sudden realization that Hitch means a lot more to him than just being an ally, do you think that Marlowe goes and confesses his feelings, or do you think he continues to focus on what the goal is at that moment? What is the objective and stuff? Or do you think now all of a sudden he's no longer as goal driven? Now he's kind of like, wait, there's more to life than just...
I think that Marlowe's resolve and goal regarding the scouts is a little bit stronger than his affection towards Hitch, because it is a matter of life or death for humanity. So I feel like in the back of his head he'd be like, oh, okay, like after this mission, like after we feel like we've gotten humanity, like I'll confess to Hitch or something like that. I feel like that would be his... I feel like it would drive him more.
So they're pulling a Armin Annie situation. They're pulling like a Bertold Annie situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
You hold on to that emotion that you feel for that person and you just use it as your motivation, your driving force. You know what? I got to do this because if I don't, then I'm never going to get the opportunity to boom, boom, boom. All right. I like it.
But I feel like if he was on his deathbed after deciding that, let's say he dies sometime in the future after that, I think that then he would confess like on his deathbed. Like he'd be like...
So Marlowe's currently in the story right now. We just saw him over in, final part one of that, episode.
He's in the plane.
What is he doing? Is he a part of that specific group? Is he going to Aaron? Or is he staying back with Hitch?
I think going off of what Eddie's saying, imagine him being a huge player in the events that are unfolding now. I think that
he's there, right? He's going to go ahead.
I think that then in Eddie's theory that he would be like
battling
he'd be with like
the Levi squad.
I almost said with Aaron.
Yeah.
He'd be it's so just like ingrained in my brain to be like, Aaron, Mikasa, Armin, like to say their names
they're
together.
The ones that we want to root for.
But I think that he'd be with like Armin, Levi, Mikasa,
Okay.
Battling with them with Jean and
How sad would it be if he like turned to a Jaegerist? I don't see that happening, but just for the sake of kind of devil's advocate here, that'd be very strange, right? Because what would
Hey.
Yeah, we're talking about your boy Marlowe, Eddie. Thank you so much for the response.
Hello, Eddie. Yeah, we're actually reviewing. I gotta spell out this gum. We're actually reviewing your response.
Yeah, your response. You said Marlowe. Which thank you so much for the response, my friend. And we're right now trying to again just theorize about Marlowe's story and what he went through, where he's at, what everything in terms of the Attack on Titan story right now. So we pretty much came to the conclusion, I think you did too, Eddie, is that Marlowe would be in that plane traveling to go ahead and get to Aaron with everybody else, right? Marlowe would be a part of that fight. I think it's safe to say that because Marlowe he understands now what it is what's important. You know, he understands, which we found out a couple episodes ago, that the military police essentially have been kind of, let's say, brainwashing. This is a bad word, brainwashing, but you know, he realizes that their actions aren't for the betterment of humanity. It's for the betterment of the individual. It's about greed, right? So now Marlo, who we talked about, is very, very noble, right? He wants to fight for a greater cause, fight for humanity. He realizes that these scouts, that is this narrative, this story of them being criminals, is being pinned on them, right? Marlo understands that they're the ones who care about humanity. They're the ones who are trying to fight for the people. So you know what? We see that Marlo wanted to go ahead and fight for the people, but Captain Levi doesn't think that he doesn't think that Marlo has what it takes. Eddie's saying, "Hey guys, sorry about leaving unnoticed last week. My phone died." Oh, no worries, man. No worries.
No, don't even worry.
Yeah, don't worry about that, Eddie. But thank you so much for joining us here on this Easter episode. We appreciate you and everybody who's listening to us. Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, Captain Levi didn't think Marlo had what it took. Jean decided to have the test. We'll talk more about that with the poll. Mm-hmm. But Marlo has what it takes, right? And yeah, I think Marlo is just, he's one of those forgotten characters, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. You know, you forget about him. But then one thing is important to remember, of course, is the resolve that he had, the willingness to fight. And those are the characters that we miss when you have certain things happening, like the rumbling, you know? Like, you know,
someone that has such good drive and result. Like, that's just like, yeah, he's very passionate about his morals and what he wants to, the differences he wants to make in the world and the changes he wants to happen in the government and everything.
Yeah. But bottom line, like, we all pretty much came to the conclusion that like Marlo is there with the Levi squad, with the new commander in Armin, and he is there helping.
The new commander.
He's there to help take on Eren. All right. So cool. So what do we got next?
Next is Bobby7.
All
Hello,
right.
Bobby. He says, Irvin Smith, God damn it.
Yeah.
And he'd be helping defend parody against its enemies without being extreme.
Okay.
I'm assuming that he's saying without being extreme in reference to like what his plan was for the Beast Titan to basically just have everyone die for the sake of capturing the beast. But I feel like that's not Irvin's style, though. He's always been a gambling man.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and let's now dissect this a little bit. This might end up being a long podcast episode, guys, so we apologize. You know, we do have...
Just because of this.
Yeah, we do have to, of course, get into the story at some point, right? But this is interesting topic of conversation here. I want to talk about why these characters, why they end up surviving and what they end up becoming. Let's talk about the journey a little bit. You know, I think that it's good to have these kind of, you know, conversations. So if Irvin is alive, that means that Armin is not, right?
I guess that's...
So if that's what
unless
Bobby...
they're more implying that Irvin didn't get his kidney stone.
Okay, so let's do that then, all right? So Irvin somehow surviving the charge, right? Mm-hmm. Straight to the Beast Titan.
Yeah, just him and Flock.
And him and Flock... they find each other. They make their way over to the, to the other side of the wall. You know, they go ahead and they meet up with the rest of the group. And then, you know, Irvin has a decision, right? Where he's like, look, you know, well, they don't even have to have that decision. Armin's still the one who is going to be brought back, right? So now that means that Irvin himself is still just a scout, right?
Yeah.
Because he's no longer commander. Let's remember that. Then in this moment that we're talking about, when you know he is taking on the Beast Titan, when they're at Shiganshina, Irvin is not the commander anymore. Yeah, he gave that responsibility to Hanji.
Yeah.
Right? So that means he's just, let's say, a section commander, right? Mm-hmm. So that's going to be the role that he continues going forward, right?
Hanji would keep the role and not be like, you can have it back.
But here's the thing, though, is I think that much like Sadis did with Irvin, you kind of, all right, I'm done with this role. You take it over.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I think it's the promotion that Hanji deserves. We can all agree on that, right? And I think that Hanji would be willing to go ahead and give it back out of respect, right, to Commander Irvin. But Irvin himself would have some sort of motivational, inspirational way of pretty much instilling in Hanji that she is
clearly not or whatever. He'd be like, I led all these soldiers to death, and something in relation, like psychologically, would happen where he's like, yeah, I pass this on.
And let's also remember too, at this point, he's pretty much like future Gohan. This guy doesn't have an arm.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah,
if he is surviving, he still has no arm, right?
True.
So, I mean, he's going to be, again, in terms of plans, in terms of, you know, leadership and all that, right? Strategy too, he's going to be a huge part of, you know, surviving and going forward with the story and stuff, right? But in terms of fighting abilities, I mean, I think he's going to be limited, of course, right? So he's not necessarily going to go ahead and be the one where he's out there in the battlefield, right? I think he would want to, but that's no longer the case. But anyways, I digress. So that means that Irvin makes it to the cellar. So Irvin makes it to the cellar, which is something that's important because what does Irvin want to do? He wants to go ahead and find the truth, right?
Yeah, that's his whole driving force.
So that's going to be a big part of Irvin's story, is that he finds out the truth, right? He finds out, which is the truth again, is pretty much just about Marley and all that, right? And I'm sure there's more details involved. You know, we're missing some stuff in terms of what's all written over in the notes taken by Grisha. But that's a huge deal, is that Irving gets to continue his life and find out
he
more
actually
of the
gets
truth.
to know the truth and continue it, and
So what's Irvin's role at this point? I know we kind of touched on it in terms of maybe he would just be some sort of commander, right? In terms of like maybe a section commander or something, right?
Yeah.
But
I think he would still definitely have a role in it, but it definitely wouldn't be that.
He wouldn't be over in Marley, right? He wouldn't be there trying to get Aaron back, right?
I don't think so.
Or do you think he'd be in the blimp? Would he have prevented Sasha's death?
Oh my gosh, that could.
Let's spiral, guys. Let's spiral.
This is what we mean when we say the episode's going to be longer than usual.
Because I want to know, because if we're talking about these characters coming back and playing a big part of the story,
butterfly effect.
Like, what is going to be the impact here? What's going to be the impact that Irvin makes, right? With Marlo, we talked about how Marlo, if he ends up surviving, his impact is he's going to be another ally that they have there in fighting Aaron, right? With Irvin, what's going to be the impact that he has, right? Is he going to be there with Levi?
Yeah, I think he
and
would.
Trying to babysit Zeke? Is Irvin with Commander Pixis?
I don't think Irvin would.
Does Irvin drink the wine?
I know. Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's so many ways that even if they survive, there's so many ways that they could die.
Yeah, because I first wanted to say that, I think Irvin would stay back because now he knows he's like more of like he's not the commander anymore. But then I was thinking, no, he likes the truth way too much. He's going to want to go to the island. He's going to want to go to Marley.
Yeah.
And
does Irvin
do more?
I understand there's a huge age discrepancy, but does Irvin become royalty and become the king to Historia's queen?
I know.
No, I think that would be I don't know.
But yeah, if he did stay back, I think he would have accidentally drank the wine and we would have lost Irvin.
Yeah.
Again.
I think so. All right.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much for that one, Bobby. Next is also Eddie, which is Sunset Ridge Skateboarding.
All right. Twofer.
He says, in all caps, one word, Mike.
Mike. All right. Now, Mike is a character which I anticipated us talking about, right? Mike is a character we talked about in past episodes, that he is pretty much just a victim of the circumstance, that circumstance being the Beast Titan, right? It's something that we haven't seen up to that point. And he also, unfortunately, is this wrong place at the wrong time, right? It was very, very admirable of him to go ahead and clear the way for the others, right? To go ahead and pass through the Titans.
And you could tell he was so confident doing it. He made it look so easy, and then it just...
I want to talk about that too, Kyron.
Yeah, same. I just read that and I was like...
So Kyron's question, he says that he saw a meme on Facebook that said if Irvin got the Colossal Titan, him and Annie would be in a relationship. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll touch on that. Again, we'll go back to Irvin, but let's go ahead and let's talk about Mike very, very quickly. Because Mike is a strong character. We understand that he is, in terms of sheer strength and ability on taking on Titans, he's second only to Captain Levi.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think there's a close gap between those two and whoever's third or fourth and all that, you know?
Yeah.
But
like maybe those two and then like Mikasa, and then it's just like way down.
Yeah, and then you have the traitors like, Reina and, Bertold and Annie, and they're like, oh, wait, never mind. They don't count.
Yeah,
all right.
just kidding. Wait, okay, so I guess Sasha.
Yeah.
But it's like obviously not close.
Yeah.
Close.
But so for Mike, I mean, here's the interesting thing is that he survives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say by chance the Beast Titan spares him, because we want to talk about why. How do we think they survived, right?
How?
So let's say that maybe he spared him because he got information that he needed. He took away his ODM gear, and let's put it this way: we recognize and we understand the sheer strength and ability that Mike has by somehow surviving that onslaught of Titans.
Yeah.
Even without gear. Let's say he's that badass.
Okay.
Right? Because I think we want to also believe that if Levi was in that situation, Levi's finding a way to survive. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mike's legs were crushed. Let's say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, how, like, even if he does survive,
okay,
how
about
mobile
this?
is he after?
Instead, this makes more sense then, in terms of my besides my theory. But let's say that Mike is there, right? He's stuck in that situation, but by chance, some scouts go out and they end up helping him.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So his legs aren't crushed?
His legs are crushed.
Oh, they are.
Right?
Okay.
But just in time, some more scouts arrived to help him. Okay? Now, that could be the only way I could think of Mike surviving, right? Because his legs are shattered. He doesn't have his gear or weapons. Mm-hmm. And he's essentially kind of broken in terms of, like mentally. But he survives. He somehow heals from his legs. Let's say that, right?
Yeah.
He's probably not going to be the same, right? But he's still going to be a strong person, right? Now, what's Mike's important role?
He is...
Now, there's something that I want you to say. But think about what makes Mike different from the others.
His smell.
Yeah. So
not his smell, though. How well he can smell.
How well he can smell,
stinks.
right? Yeah. Now, let's say again, this is something that people have speculated before on social media, on memes and this and that, right? Mika survives.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
What is his pivotal moment? How does he help?
He would have smelled the spinal fluid.
Yeah, he would have smelled the spinal fluid. He would have smelled, hey, something's not right with that wine.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't drink that wine.
Yeah.
Something's not right with it.
And then I don't think he can save everybody because he can't, they can't spread the word that quickly, but he's going to save a group. And guess what? Then limited. Word is going to get across and then he's going to save as much people as he can. Mm-hmm. Right. So I think that's how Mike is going to go out.
Made a big difference. And also just his pure skill.
Yeah, he would go ahead and be a big part of.
He would be this legless badass. No, I think that he would continue to be. I mean, again, this guy is second to Levi, and I think that he would continue to be this really.
He would still be a force, much like Levi is still very much a force, even given the shape that he's in.
So I think that he would have gotten his revenge with the Beast Titan, and I think that he. I'm hoping that he would have survived long enough to where. He'd limit whoever drank that spinal fluid, and then he helped capture Zeke, or maybe he went to Marley, maybe he stayed back. I don't know. Yeah,
who knows? We just know that, I mean, in terms of smelling something's not right, I think that he'd be able to do that.
That would have been very vital.
That's pretty important. But let's go back now. Let's talk about something that Kyrie mentioned, right? The off-topic little topic here of Irvin being in love with Annie. So it's obviously with the most recent episode of Attack on Titan, we go ahead and we see the vibe we're getting with Annie and with Armin, right? We see there's something there. We understand Armin's been talking to Annie when Annie's been frozen. He has feels for her, right? And does Annie have feels for him?
Word.
I think that, we from what we saw in that last episode, that I think it is also reciprocated. Annie does care about Armin, right? So the reason why is because Armin ate, right? Bertold's body, right? So what happens is, the next user, right? The inheritor goes in, he gets the memories, of the previous person, and we all know that Bertold had a crush on Annie. Yeah. Right?
Well, if you can inherit emotions from inheriting Titan powers, is the next person who's the armored gonna be bipolar?
Maybe they're gonna be
the next
so
person who has the
they're gonna be so fucked up from Rhina's memories and everything to be like, oh my gosh, this last person, what are they?
I know.
They just screwed me.
He had a barrel of a shotgun.
That
in
next
his
person
mouth.
would be Gabi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
Gabi would be
then-
like, Jesus, Rhina.
So then it is Falco now. Now Falco doesn't care about anyone except for Gabi, and now is
I don't know. That's the thing is that we can
is
go
the
down
next
this
person
rabbit
who has
hole.
the founder or the attack gonna be
So does that mean that Armin
like
has
Eren?
already liked Annie?
I think that
Bertold had no real effect in terms of, how much Armin cares for Annie. Because that's something that also, remember, doesn't
isn't there a point,
Eren mention that to Armin?
Isn't there? Yeah, but Eren also that was also this Eren. I have an accent now, but Eren also mentioned that when he was trying to manipulate them.
Yeah,
because it was
so
during
you
the
don't
same
think it's
point
something that he
was
said that
trying-
was true?
Because isn't there a point? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a point in when they're finding out Annie is the female Titan that that Armin mentioned something about like, oh, it's this, or maybe he says it about Krista, where they talk about like, oh, like yeah, she's this blonde girl, like this really, like he says something about her being cute or pretty or something.
Yeah, he's talking about, if I remember correctly, I know that they're talking about Krista. I think.
Okay, got it. Because I don't know why I remember him talking about that with Annie, but I don't think Armin would describe Annie as cute or pretty in
I
season
don't
one.
think so. Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
I just feel like there's something there about.
You think there was there already prior to?
I feel like it's just there's a lot that you can dive into. Like, where do we draw the line in terms of you inheriting emotions and feelings from your past?
Maybe it's
from the
only
past
between
user?
Titan users.
That's the other thing I was just about to touch on. I was going to say maybe the Colossal Titan is just destined to have feelings for whoever the female Titan is.
I don't know. Well, then if that's the case, that means that what Kyron had mentioned, that Facebook meme is correct. That Irvin, had he been the choice and now he's a Colossal Titan, he would have the hots for Annie. Right?
I guess theoretically, yes, but I don't think. I feel like Irvin would have done the responsible thing and not have seen it as romantic. I think he would have just been like, "Oh, I'm really interested," and I kind of.
So he wouldn't act on his emotions.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I think
he would control himself. He would understand.
I think he would just think, "Oh, I'm interested," and I think that like interested in terms of like her resolve and stuff. And I think that he would just be like, oh, I just admired the way that she took on the role, especially with her upbringing. I think that he would just be more empathetic with her. Okay. I don't think he would act romantically on it.
I do like what Eddie also mentioned earlier, where it says, I feel like Irvin would have highly convinced Marley to change the way Eldians are seen. Yeah, I think that Irvin has a way of really kind of convincing a certain point and making you now somewhat question and think. Right?
Yeah, Irvin and his speeches. He would have pulled out one of his classic speeches and softened the Eldians' gaze.
Yeah, so I like that, Eddie.
Soften the Marlians' gaze on the Eldians.
See, Eddie also mentions, he keeps referring to these OVAs in some of our episodes. We have to watch these at some point, but Eddie mentions that Mike is an underrated badass in this OVA. Mike and Levi fought, and Mike was able to pin him down, surprisingly. Wow. So that's something that, again, I couldn't even imagine, but,
maybe it's a size difference,
maybe, yeah. That's crazy, because, again, Levi is top dog, So if Mickey's able to do that,
down Levi,
it just goes to show that how much of a strong character we were robbed of,
I know.
But again, he came across
such a short amount too.
Yeah, because we know, again, he came across the freaking Beast Titan, and Zeke has been able to go out and hold his own against Levi. Maybe not the first time, he needed some help, but that's because he underestimated him. But, he understands now the force that Levi is, and we see that, the Beast Titan's able to be competitive and put up a fight.
Yeah.
All right.
Even with one of the questions that we had about, like, if you could bring back any character, who would you bring back? And I said Mike. And again, I said, like, basically talked about what we had just been
And he says, not just watch them, review them as well, please. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll
maybe that's something that we do when
maybe
we're all done with Attack on Titan.
Or maybe after season We're still very much into the beginning of season 3,
Yeah,
but it's something where it'd be cute. It'd be really cool to go ahead and talk about that. Yeah.
So thank you for our spiraling with your one word of Mike.
Mike, Eddie, thank you.
Next we have Rinanel 9614. They say Kenny, and if he was motivated, join the Survey Corps and even fight against Marley.
Whoa,
that is a really interesting take.
Now okay. So, do we think Kenny has that in him, or is he going to go ahead and be like a solo lone wolf person to the end?
Because didn't the only thing he really wanted was just to be that he wanted.
He's trying to survive, right?
Was to just obviously his ultimate goal is survival. Yeah, and he thinks that turning himself into a Titan is that ticket to survival, but then he's too scared to do it.
Yeah, well, he's on the brink of death.
Yeah,
so he thinks that's the only way it's going to allow him to survive and to live and to continue going forward.
Yeah,
right. So again, let's say hypothetically here that that's not the case. He still very much is alive, and that means he's going to keep that serum to himself, right? And then somehow Levi's going to have to convince Kenny to give that serum to him, right? To Levi, or to go ahead and switch sides and fight with them. Now, does Levi want to fight with Kenny, or does he want to fight against Kenny?
I honestly feel like Kenny, the only way that Kenny would fight along with them is
he's getting paid a ton of money.
If it benefits him. He's not going to do anything that doesn't benefit him in the long term of survival.
Yeah.
So I feel like the only time that we'd be able to see Kenny, if he survived, see Kenny as an ally with them is maybe to help them stop the rumbling. But even then, Kenny could just stay cozy up in the island of Parody, knowing that he's not going to get stomped out, watch everyone else die, and that's something that Kenny would do.
He gets a pardon from his crimes. He now is able to go out and live this new life, right? But if he continues doing his actions that he's used to doing, then he's going to go ahead and continue being in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 whatever. And let's say, he decides, you know what? I've lived this shitty life. I'm a scumbag. Maybe it's time to quiet things down a little bit, It'd be nice. I think that it'd be cool. It'd be an awesome redemption moment from a character where you think that they are a lost cause, right? You think they are so selfish that they're not going to help anybody but themselves. But to our friend here who mentions Kenny and is theorizing that Kenny becomes a part of the team and what, battling in Marley, or what was it again? Exactly.
Join the Survey Corps and even fight against Marley.
Okay.
So theoretically, Rinanel's saying that Kenny would somehow get this motivation to join the Scouts and would survive long enough to even fight against Marley. Which, I mean, to what Eddie's saying in chat here, Kenny would have easily infiltrated Marley. Yeah. Kenny is very well versed in. I think that Kenny would have loved to see Marley, honestly, to see what, in terms of I think it would be a selfish motivation, but I think he would love to see Marley because he'd love to see what else he can benefit from.
Okay.
What else he can what other hands he could put, other baskets that he could put his hands into.
Interesting. But then again, that's to my point where Kenny's not going to be a trustworthy ally.
Yeah,
right?
I honestly, I don't know.
Is he going to be one of those characters where you think finally they have, had this redemption and then it doesn't take much, but then they go ahead and they sway to, their more greedy, mindset again. It's going to be a little back and forth and be like, oh my gosh, just pick a side already, In
Rinanel's little response though, in their world, Kenny is motivated enough to join the Scouts and fight. Okay. So
I like it.
I guess
I don't see it how he would just drastically change like that, but I like it.
But
wishful thinking.
It could happen.
Right? Just wishful thinking.
It's not impossible.
Okay.
So thank you for that. Next we have Payne Radford.
Okay.
.png. And they say, very simply, Mike.
Another Mike, all right.
And another Mike.
We talked about Mike and the impact that he would make. And again, Mike is
agree.
Mike is definitely one of those characters that you would love to have back. If you can bring back a character, if you go out there,
ally, very strong,
and you're looking at a pool of dead characters, right? And you're like, okay, character select. Which one do you want to bring back to life? Like, okay, let's look. Boom, 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 boom. You know, you're looking. You know, Mike is going to be in that top 5, for sure.
Definitely, yeah. Because I am in complete agreement. Yeah, Mike would be the one that I would
select him. Mike Sicarius.
Yeah.
Right? And all of a sudden, you see him just like he gets brought back.
Instantly sniffing.
What am I doing? Why am I? I know. Just what are all these smells? You know.
I know.
And yeah, and then he's brought back to life. Awesome.
So yeah, I completely agree with you. And then lastly, last response here is from the show Marco.
Oh, Marco.
Right. Marco says, obviously, I would have Ymir alive. Y'all already know the whole thing. And that's all he says.
Yes. I love that. Marco, thank you so much for that response. Yes, Ymir.
Yeah,
let's talk about Ymir.
this so many times, how much we're just like, yeah, Ymir made such a stupid decision in leaving Marley and going with Rhina.
Well, she leaves to Marley. She leaves to Marley.
Leave to Marley. I keep confusing them. Leaving to Marley and joining, basically, going with.
She essentially sacrificed herself. She's like, look.
She stays to protect.
I killed one of your friends. You didn't get Eren. The best I can do is be a consolation prize.
Yeah.
So here you go. And, there's no chance of her survival. We see that she is immediately fed to Porco. Porco becomes a Jaw Titan, and he becomes a very, very cool-looking Jaw Titan. So I guess, her death didn't, it brought something. It brought a cool Jaw Titan.
Yeah.
Porco looked like a badass with his mane. Right?
He looked like a mythical creature.
But here we go. So this doesn't happen. Porco was still, upset at Rhina over in Marley. He doesn't have the abilities, right? And meanwhile, Ymir made the logical and the smarter decision.
Oh my God, yeah.
And staying with Historia.
The decision she should have
She's
made.
living with Historia in the castle.
She's Historia's guard.
Maybe they are, let's say, people in Stohes, I believe, people at the capital, right? They're so freaking stingy, and they, there's, I don't want, a same gender relationship. I don't want, this not.
No, that sounds like them.
So let's say that Ymir is there. She is her number one protector and guard, and all that, right? But we know that she's also the lover in secret, right?
Yeah.
Because Historia did get pregnant by this farmer. Yeah. So that's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I need to,
because we don't really know if Historia ever would have or really reciprocates that kind of romanticism for Ymir. Yes, we know that she loves Ymir. She has love for Ymir, and we know that she cares so much about her, but I don't...
So you think that Historia friend zones Ymir?
I honestly don't get any gay vibes from Historia.
From Historia. It's all from Ymir.
Yeah.
Damn.
Historia kind of just gives me I'm willing to try, but I don't think so. And then
interesting.
I don't.
Wow.
I just really have love for you.
Trouble in paradise. I
think that she's just super empathetic to Ymir, but that once Historia actually starts being more confident when she becomes queen and thinking for herself and everything, she realizes oh, I'm not sexually attracted.
So Ymir makes a move. She goes in for a kiss. Historia's like, whoa, she's confused. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Ymir's like, what do you mean? What am I doing?
I thought we were just besties.
Yeah, and Historia's going to go and explain all that.
You just ruined the sleepover.
And then Ymir's going to be turn into her Jaw Titan form and just scamper away sad. Interesting.
Yeah, I think it would just be I really appreciate our friendship.
Nonetheless,
I don't want to ruin that.
I would be glad to see Ymir just alive and not sacrificing herself, because she's the character that has,
it's such a good ally to have a Jaw Titan.
Well, they would have kind of evened the playing field in terms of when we get that battle and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we talked about it plenty of times about why that upsets me, Ymir's decision, and we even talked about it when Marco was joining us live.
Yeah, because we all are very much in agreement that Ymir made a dumb decision. Yeah, I don't know why she chose to stay with and protect.
Yeah,
and practically save, but almost said Benir and Rare Told.
Yeah, exactly them. I mean, I guess we are explained that Ymir ultimately goes to save Reina and Bertold because she owes them her life.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for their arrival, she would have just continuously been this aimless, normal Titan, right? And because
that somehow looks the exact same as her.
Yeah, I know.
Jaw.
But anyways, thank you, Marco, for the response. All right, and that's everybody, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody, for the responses.
That's it for the
Q&A. So now we got a poll to talk about.
Yeah, now the poll, guys. You guys still with us? Or 45 minutes in?
Yep.
So for the poll, okay, hold on. We have a lot of polls. For the poll, there we go. We asked you guys if Hitch and Marlowe had failed Jean's test, what would have happened to them?
Okay. So what was his test?
His test was basically manipulating them into thinking that he was going to kill them, and then accidentally tripping and leaving Marlowe with his knife to see if Marlowe was going to make a move to test his resolve.
Yeah.
And but ultimately Jean always had the upper hand because he has the ODM gear. That's basically a gun.
Yeah, he has his gun. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually has a gun.
Yeah, he has his gun.
Yeah.
And he goes and he, boom, points right at Marlowe, right under his chin.
Yeah. So, basically testing their resolve. It's a big test, and they pass. Marlowe passes. We don't know about Hitch. Marlowe
Hitch
passes.
just has a good, strong right swing.
She's just really nicely associated with Marlowe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they end up passing.
How bad would it be if John's such a savage, where he's like, Marlowe, you have shown what it takes, but there's only one last test.
But someone still needs to prove their resolve.
He goes, I can only bring one of you back.
Yeah. He's
So
like, and
Marlowe,
I can't let you go. You know too much.
If you really want to become a scout, you have to kill Hitch.
Oh my god, I thought that you were going to be like, I have to kill Hitch now. Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't think Marlowe would have
Show
done
me
that.
how bad you want it.
Marlowe wouldn't have done that.
Do it! Marlowe, do it! You know?
Yeah, just get right in his face, go full psycho. And then be like, I'm just kidding.
I know. Wait, no, don't actually do it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, because then
Marlowe, don't take everything so serious and literal.
I know.
Okay? Look,
welcome to
you're
the
joining
Scouts.
us. Come on, let's go.
No, because you already know.
And Hitch is looking at Jean like, you son of a...
You horse-faced jerk.
And then all of a sudden she's like looking at Marlowe like, you were really going to kill me. Are you... And then, then there's never going to be a relationship.
Yeah, then there's never anything.
And then Marlowe's going to have to explain that situation for the rest of his life. He's going to be like, look, Hitch, I'm so sorry. I wasn't going to actually do it. I was going to try to trick, And then, Eddie says, Jean would not do that. I know. He's not that much of a savage.
It would have immediately, even if he did just make that insinuation that, Marlowe, I know your resolve. Hitch, I don't know. Hitch would have immediately been like, oh, no, I want to help the scouts. They never stop. She would have immediately tried to.
And then Marlowe's like, I'm sorry. And he just gets close.
No, she's fine.
I can't do it. And then John pulls out his gun and be like, well, if you can't do it, then. And then all of a sudden he's just saying what again the
after
the stakes are high. He goes
I'm
and he
never
sees
hesitating again.
John takes it as far as he possibly can.
Yeah.
So finally the test is done and now they can no longer trust John.
And then they all hear a gunshot and they're like just have to walk up to John and be like, what happened?
We hear a gunshot and then we get a to be continued.
Yeah, and that's you don't even it's an off-screen gunshot.
Yeah.
Okay, so the options are if Hitch and Marlowe had failed Jean's test, would they, option 1, would Jean have let them go? Option 2, Jean kills Marlowe and Hitch. Or option 3, Marlowe and Hitch kill Jean.
Ooh.
So,
tell us the results.
Starting in normal fashion from least voted to most voted, we have at least voted with 24%.
24.
Marlowe and Hitch kill Jean.
Wow.
So the least amount. So, yeah, it's the lowest voted. So people don't really believe that Marlowe and
they don't think that Marlowe and Hitch would go ahead and kill Jean
after, if they had failed the test. I think it would just be like, all right, just let us go.
Okay.
And we'll let him go. We already know what's going on with him. Yeah, but
That could only
I will say
happen-
these are all pretty close though.
That can only happen if they are if they both Hitch and Marlo stay true to their MP code. Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, all right, Jean, this scout is actually keeping us alive. All right, now's my chance to strike.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, ready? 3, 2. And he goes and he like tackles Jean, goes out there, takes his gun away from him, points a gun at him, and be like, you made a grave mistake, scout. Like the way he says it, scout.
Yeah. The way
Like, he's
that
like, he's
Marlo
scum.
talks is very, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he's just like, you should have killed us when you had the chance. And then you just, boom. And then Jean dies.
Then he dies, and then, you know.
And then we realize how much of a force Marlo is.
Yeah, we're like, oh, dang.
Oh, damn.
This dude is.
I guess Levi. Then we would have been like with Levi, letting him live. We talked about like maybe Levi is a softie, right? Because, you know, Jean's putting on this persona that, oh, the captain might be soft, but I'm not, right? Mm-hmm. And then we would have been one of those situations we're talking about where like, if Levi didn't just let them live, right?
Yeah.
If Levi would have just killed them, then Jean would have still been alive, you know?
Like release them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the next least voted going up is at 37%. So these are all pretty close. 37% is Jean lets them go.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might have just been.
I gotta admit,
like
I did not think that was gonna be second.
Yeah.
I thought that might have been first.
Which means
wow.
top voted is Jean kills Marlo and Hitch.
Wait, what's the percentage?
39.
39. So we got 39 first, 37 second, 24 is the third
All pretty
place.
close. But yeah, people
Very
think
close.
that Jean is more of a killer
People
than.
think that Jean is gonna have what it takes to go out there and kill
I honestly don't think
Marlo and
so.
Hitch. I mean, again, we see that Jean puts on this kind of facade, this persona, right? He wants to go out and have his redemption to the captain, right? Captain Levi. And he goes, Captain, will you let me do it?
Yeah.
Obviously, we know that Captain Levi trusts more in Sasha, right?
Yeah.
Because Sasha was going to go ahead and be the one to take, you know, to go ahead and take Marlo and Hitch on this walk, let them go. Jean makes it seem like he wants to take them, but in reality, he then now makes it seem like he wants to kill them,
Yeah.
right? And let's say Jean really does become so unhinged, right? He wants to prove it so badly to the captain, right? That he goes and he kills Marlo
Yeah,
and
and he
Hitch.
kills them. Like, I won't hesitate again, sir.
Yeah, and then
That's
you
what
know
I told you to do.
Yeah. You know, Levi's gonna be like, I understand you didn't want to hesitate, but why don't you listen to me or something?
I know.
You know?
Why didn't you follow orders? You have a new problem now. You don't follow orders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, like, in all honesty, I voted for that Jean lets them go.
Yeah.
I felt as though Jean
Because that's what the original plan was,
Yeah,
right?
'cause I
Captain
think he
Levi
would've
told him
he
to just
would've
let them
stuck
go.
with the original plan and just been like, all right, then I guess we'll just let them go. I'll see what Levi had in store then.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But
Interesting.
yeah, this is the first time I've been like really
Surprised,
this shocked
right?
by the vote.
Yeah. I'm
I thought
surprised
that
again
killing him
because
would be last.
knowing Jean and what we see from Jean, right? Yeah, Jean is a very capable soldier, right? Capable scout. Like, morally, does he have what it takes to go out there and just kill these two people who are trying to plead to him that, look, like, we want to help, right?
Yeah.
Does he have what it takes to really kill people with that certain mindset? I think that Jean would go and be willing to kill somebody who's defiantly, you know,
Yeah.
after or whatever, constantly like, you know, blah blah blah, you know, just egging on Jean.
That's very.
I think he would break Jean to that breaking point, right? But man, I really do not think that Jean has what it takes to go ahead and do that.
No, I don't think
You
so
know,
either.
so I'm surprised, just like you, that was the top choice. You know, for me, I would have also voted how you voted. With John just ends up letting them go.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. But Kyron now gives us a little bonus option here. What if they were Titan shifters, right? And they did fail Jean's test.
What Titan powers would they have?
Okay. So Kyron, you're gonna have to make up 2 Titan powers.
I know. You have to make up.
Tell us
the
what Titan
on the
powers
spot.
they have. They become new Titan users. But again, that would just be another crazy reveal given to us in this, again, crazy story, right? We know that in this moment here in the story, yeah, there's so much happening, right? The scouts are now fugitives. But what happened everything before that, right? Reveal, traitor, all these traitors among us. This would just be another reveal of traitors
Oh
among
my
us.
gosh! Yeah, there would not
You know?
be any arc that didn't have, a traitor reveal.
Yeah. I don't know. Just another
Just
plot
another
twist.
plot
Yeah.
twist. Yeah, I don't know what Titan they would have. I mean, unless it literally would have to be a completely new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know, but that would be another crazy twist. Just again in Attack on Titan, we already have so many crazy ones. Why not just give us another crazy twist?
I know,
you know?
There's already more.
Might as well.
Nothing ever stops blowing my mind in this anime. So,
and if that's the case, then that just means that they're gonna kill John.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're not gonna go and reveal themselves to be Titans. You know, if they're not gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Well,
thank you guys for all of your responses.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it. Now that we are about an hour into the episode,
per usual.
Like we said, guys, we're gonna be talking for a while. We knew that the question that we asked last week was gonna be a juicy one.
We knew there was a potential of us spiraling into these crazy theories.
And thank you so much
gets me so excited.
for giving us such good content to spiral into.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Kyron, what if they combine to make one crazy tie-in as like a suicide bomber?
Oh my god.
No, but he says sewer side.
Yeah, I think that's one of the banned words on Twitch.
Really?
So you have to
I got
change it.
So change the sewer side. Yeah, I mean, my gosh. That would just make Hitch and Marlowe's relationship that much stronger.
Yeah, that they have to combine.
They are this combined. Like, so I don't know what the character's name, but it's kind of like, and there's other characters like that too. But you know how they have like the tank character and they have like the little other character that's kind of on top of them,
the smaller,
right?
Yeah.
Where it's like in Mortal Kombat, there's a character like that too.
I literally was just thinking that.
And then I'm sure in other iterations too of like different anime, there's characters like that as well. But if they are a character like that, that'd be so freaking cool.
Yeah,
and then Eddie also mentioned too, like the fusion in Dragon Ball Z. Can you imagine if they end up just really fusing themselves?
Yeah.
Right? They did the dance and everything. And I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Like, Jean, you're not gonna be able to kill us. Why is that? Because fusion. Ah, right? And it's
Captain
like, okay.
Planet.
Yeah. Because we have matching rings.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. And then they're just like the blinding light. John's like, what is going on?
Be like, I'm so tired of these rings.
I know.
Like, first it was Annie's.
Yeah, that would be insane. I do like the idea, though. I'm sorry, Eddie, of instead of the fusion, I like the idea of having two separate Titans, but they work together in tandem, like that Mortal Kombat character that kind of just goes out there and has the tank and has like the other little creature
type. Eddie is saying, is that the name? Is that the name of the character?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ferrator.
Let's look it up. I need answers.
What do you even look up? What's the name of that Mortal Kombat
type in
character?
that name.
Oh, he's saying yes, that is the name.
Okay. Yeah, I still want to look at it.
But yeah, it's like the big... Yeah, it's got this little gremlin on his back. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then if they were like a suicide bomber,
Yeah,
would they actually die?
I don't know.
I don't think they would have died. I think they would they would have healed.
I don't know.
But they may like explode. Maybe it's like a one-time use kind of power.
Damn, that would be so cool. Hitch is like the character over on the back, and then you have like Marlowe's just this. You look at Marlowe's appearance, and it's so deceiving. And like, oh, you know, it's just Marlowe, blah blah blah, whatever, you know.
Wimpy
and
little
then
dude.
he becomes
He's got a bowl cut.
Freaking giant tank thing with the bowl cut.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
His bowl cut transforms and ends up like going over and becoming a helmet.
Yeah. It ends up turning into a really cool mask. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping happens to mine too.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
Okay, so Kyron's saying yeah. So in Kyron's theoretical Titan with this little, it's like a one-time use kind of explosion.
Damn.
So, and then you have to, so like that's your Titan use. You turn to a Titan, your explosion is a one-time use. So use it well.
Wow, they must really think Jean is a threat.
And then you have to. I know.
That's
like, why
huge
are they
respect.
Exploding?
That's huge respect for Jean.
But yeah.
That'd be cool if Marlowe did that during his charge against the beast. Can you imagine that? He sees the stuff right in front of me. He's like,
and he just
now's the time. Just, you know, and this and that. It becomes this big, giant explosion.
I mean, it's kind of like the Colossal Titan's initial, like their like nuke of a transformation where, yes, it's a one-time use with your Titan because then you can't explode again.
Yeah.
You can't have like a nuke transformation again. You just have to ditch that Titan and you have to make a new one to do that. I think that's what should be happening with this theoretical Ferrator
I like that.
exploding Titan.
Awesome. Damn, I love it. I love talking about these crazy little theories that we have.
Yeah, I like that too. Having because I was genuinely trying to think of what Titan power, what else would there be? I really like this one though. Good job, Kyron. Okay, you and Kyron and Eddie both have to what's the word I'm thinking of? Have to work together.
Yeah.
And make.
They're gonna have to collaborate.
Collaborate, yeah. I was gonna say like interconvene for some reason.
They're gonna interwork their thoughts.
Yeah, they have to work together, or they have to collaborate.
They're gonna have to collaborate.
Yeah, with his ideas and Eddie's director skills, and make like
they're gonna come up with something beautiful.
Yeah.
Make a new Titan. Yeah, there you go.
Make a new Titan.
Speaking of director, though, I do want to. It kind of segues into this a little bit, Lex. One thing I saw, and this is I'll mention this before we get into the episode, just to add on to the runtime we have here, right?
Yeah.
But
clearly we're
so for people who, when I had social media, this is something that I saw and I thought, see, people can actually make a live action AOT, right? Do you remember you see that sequence of of when it shows the ODM, the scouts using ODM, they're kind of like, traveling at incredible speeds, but they're like, traveling to the walls and everything and stuff inside the city. And it looks so visually amazing, right?
Yeah.
And then it shows
and it's all just like fan made stuff.
Yeah, it's all fan made stuff, right? But it's not just fan made. That this is a fan that is obviously talented for a reason, and this fan is responsible for being an animator for something that I think a lot of Star Wars fans are excited about, right? So this talented CG animator, right, currently working on the Ahsoka Disney Plus series, made that stunning live action fan film of Attack on Titan. So an actual legit CG animator who is now working on the Ahsoka series, right, made that incredible fan-made Attack on Titan.
Or what is it for? Netflix or each?
No, this is Disney Plus.
Oh, Disney Plus?
Right, Ahsoka. Ahsoka is a Star Wars character, right? And the CG artist is Masashi Imagawa, right? And this talented individual created, right, this Attack on Titan series live-action fan-made movie. Right? It's awesome. It says he uploaded half-a-minute clip of the live-action fan film, right? He created in his spare time, right? Said about 2 years ago, I made a live-action Attack on Titan with a friend, right? Says there are many live-action adaptations of Japanese manga and anime, but I personally don't know if there is a demand for full adaptations that are faithful to the originals.
Yeah.
And it says that it shows the clips. Wish I can show you guys. But yeah, it says Imagawa based the scene of the Battle of Shiganshina in Shiganshin District, right, which introduced the Beast Titan. That's something too. Or if you see that specific clip, we get an awesome iteration of a live action Beast Titan, right? But again, I just want to go and mention that it's not just a fan made clip. It was awesome to see that, right? That he said 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But now that this person is so talented that they are a legit CG animator.
Yeah. Not saying that fan-made animators are not legit animators.
No.
It's that he is so skilled enough in his craft that he is a part of this major Disney project.
Yeah. But that's the thing is that this person that we thought was just like, oh, this is awesome fan-made. Like, no.
Yeah.
This is actually a person that can accomplish this with a legit like studio.
Yeah.
Right? So again,
like
for me, that gives me hope.
Yeah.
Right. This person is actually creating live action stuff.
He made that fan made stuff obviously 2 years ago without studio resources, right?
I don't know.
Was that off of studio resources?
He said he made it with a friend, right? They did it as a hobby.
Yeah. So I don't think that obviously it's not going to be funded doing that, and obviously it's your own funding. It's your hobby and everything, but. Yeah, it's just that's amazing. Then imagine what like it being funded for like and having
the proper studio, having the proper you
have all the resources, all the materials you need, and Eddie says it's truly crazy how realistic it can look, even though there's times when it looks goofy. Yeah. I mean that's what I feel like there would be a difference made in terms of the quality and that goofiness that maybe you're talking about, Eddie, is if they had the full resources like they're going to have now, but not working on Attack on Titan project. Working
all I know
on a Disney Plus project.
This gives me hope.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? I mean, we see now that we get more and more of these live action iterations, and I think now we're actually giving him a chance because of The Last of Us and how successful that was, right?
Definitely, yeah. Last of Us has like changed the game for live action.
And a lot of it, I think, really, obviously, it's about the people that are the creative teams behind it, right? Because we understand that if they are real fans of it, that they're going to go ahead and really focus on staying true to the source, right?
Yeah.
And so that obviously is important, and finding a capable creative team that is passionate enough to make it legit, right? Make it look authentic,
just
right?
As passionate.
But
Isayama would have to be involved just as much as Rob. I always confuse Neil Druckmann and Robert Kirkman. Which one does The Walking Dead?
Walking Dead is Robert Kirkman.
Okay, so Neil Druckmann was still very involved with The Last of Us,
right? And it's the same thing with One Piece. Is that One Piece live action adaptation on Netflix, which I'm not excited about, right? Because it's Netflix, but the creator himself is really the one greenlighting all the decisions. So that's why people are giving an opportunity, right? So again,
but also that was the same thing with the Junji Ito adaptation on Netflix. And it's not a live action adaptation; it's an anime adaptation of a manga. So it's a different adaptation, but of like different means. But it's still an adaptation, and he was still very involved with that. And I haven't seen it yet, and I need to watch it so I can give my own review. And once I do, I will give you guys my review because I'm currently reading Uzumaki and I've read Tomie, but I've heard some people saying that it's like it's okay. It's all right, because obviously nothing's going to be exactly like the book, obviously, but he was still very involved, and mixed reviews. But then you have The Last of Us live action adaptation and Neil Druckmann, Neil Druckmann, one of the other mins, he was still very involved.
Yeah, so I think now people are giving these live action adaptations a chance, and
the casting was also amazing, and they had such great.
What did I send you? What did I send you earlier in the week?
About
what is HBO doing now? They're doing a 7-season, right? 7-season series of Harry Potter, right? They're gonna do a remake, and each season is going to be focused on each book. Yeah. So now we know the HBO, they're doing that. So now you see,
but now you
HBO,
can really expand on. Well, not expand, but obviously it's going to have more information than the movies did, because the movies is just one movie on a book. Whereas 2 episodes, it's basically they're going to be the equivalent of one movie. Yeah. And if it's obviously going to be 7 seasons, you have so much more to dive into, because you hear all the time, like, oh, the books are so much better. Like, yeah, there's so much more information in them. You have so much more context. Of course it's going to be better. Yeah. But now you can have some more context into this live action. But as far as our understanding, it just doesn't seem like there's really going to be a whole lot of involvement with I don't think there's going to be original cast.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that. They just kind of barely announced that this was going to be in the works. So, like I told you, I wouldn't be surprised if they include surprise cameos of the original cast.
Like they did with The Last of Us, with Ellie's mom being the voice actress of Ellie. Yeah. And then...
Yeah, Troy Baker also.
Troy Baker playing with, what's his name?
The cannibal.
James?
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Yeah.
I don't remember.
But yeah, so what I'm saying though, my point is that I have hope for a live action AOT and to be executed somewhat
well. Better than all the other live actions.
Yeah. Because you got to think that once the story's done, right, there's going to be a huge demand for more AOT content, and what is something that they can do? They're going to go ahead and try to bring a live action adaptation to life.
Yeah.
Whoa, Eddie. Okay, Eddie says, man, there is a great CGI animator on YouTube named Isaac Zur, and his work is truly impressive, as he has a great clip of a bird-eye view of the Aztec capital with the Europeans arriving on the bridge. It's so off topic, but although kind of being a great adaptation of history, just goes to show how much CGI can truly help an Attack on Titan live action. Yeah. We've seen different iterations of, other awesome creative CGI or not, CGI like different adaptations and stuff, and there's times where like I'm thinking like, see, there's a chance. Like I remember I didn't watch the entire thing, but the House of the Dragons, right? I saw a little bit of the first episode, and immediately I'm seeing like the town, I'm seeing like the settings and everything and stuff. I'm like, they can do that with Attack on Titan, So I have hope. But I just want to go ahead and kind of mention that. I thought that was a cool little fact to find out, especially from a clip where he mentioned 2 years ago something that I'm sure a lot of us saw and we're like, see how great that looks.
It can be done.
But all right. So Let's do this. Finally get into the episode.
No, now we're getting into it.
But before we do that, I'm going to put Lex in the spot right now. Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to allow you to recap what happened last week while I go to the restroom.
Okay.
So I'll be back.
All right. Go ahead.
Continue.
All right, let me watch the episode real quick. No, I'm just kidding. I already watched it. So last week, the episode that we originally wow, I can't even talk. You could see how being a host is hard, guys. AJ's job is not easy. Being a host is really hard. Talking is hard. So before what we covered last week was our part 2 of episode 4 of season 3, where so we know that right now Irvin is he's basically going to be put on, not even like on trial necessarily. They're literally just going to try to hang him. And yeah, because he went against the government. And then we have, we talked about the test that, okay, just letting you know, this recap's going to be all over the place. We went over the test, the Jean testing Marlo and Hitch's resolve. Obviously they passed it. And then now they're a part of it. Jean brings them back, lets them know that they... Jean brings them back to all the scouts, lets them know, oh, they passed my test. Levi, being this big old softy, welcomes them. And then they are able to very skillfully handle this military police base that's nearby.
Yeah, this checkpoint?
Yeah, this checkpoint, that's what it is. And takes care of all of them very easily. We don't even get to see it. That's how well they all work together. But then we discover that one of them is an interior military police.
Yeah, I believe it's the first interior soldier.
Yeah,
He's part of that group.
A first interior. I keep wanting to say upper rank.
Mm-hmm.
A first
It's
interior
essentially what
soldier.
they are, though.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's a first interior, and Armin points it out. Levi already knows, so they're like, "Oh, we are interviewing this dude. I have some questions," and then that is pretty much that was our to be continued.
All right. Well, how do we think she did? How did Lexi do? Should we give it up to Lex?
I'm gonna be honest. I started off really bad.
All right. Well,
I started off really rocky.
Good job, Lex.
But that was
That's your recap.
That's my recap.
All right. Nice.
I almost was like gonna say stuff that happened that we're gonna review this episode, and I was like, wait, no, I need to separate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Eddie says, thank you, Lex. All right. So now, without further ado, we can finally get into the episode. And this is, again, guys, this is season 3, episode 4, Trust. And this will be part 3 of our episode breakdown discussion. And we will be finally finishing episode 4. Let's do it.
All right.
So, let me get a good...
Get that out before you,
out of there. Apologies, guys.
That's so loud.
That Easter food and all that and stuff, you know, and then obviously...
They definitely heard that in both of our mics.
The soda too, So
yeah, it's that Easter feast that we had. We had a very great dinner.
All right, here we go. The episode resumes, and we see a panting Flegel trying to catch his breath. Flegel appears to be cornered, as we notice the same 3 MPs that were chasing him now approaching him, all chuckling. MP by the name of Roger tells Flegel, "Thanks, dumbass. There won't be any witnesses here in an abandoned dump like this." And then we notice that the setting is what appears to look like an old abandoned motel. Flegel turns around to face the MPs, and we see that Flegel is frightened for his life. Now this MP, Rogers, he continues as he appears to be sweaty and tired. "I owe you big time. Thanks a bunch, Flegel. I mean, when you gave us the slip before, back in the alley, I really thought I was screwed." And then Rogers drops to his knees, and he begins sobbing as Flegel just watches, now confused. Rogers gets up. He wipes the tears from his eyes. "My boss would have killed me. I'm serious. Thanks for coming back, Flegel. It was nice knowing you." And then all 3 MPs immediately point their rifles at the cornered Flegel. Flegel panics and he tries to reason. No, wait! Don't shoot yet, please! Why did my father have to die? Did the interior police kill him? And then Rogers responds, what? I don't see how that matters to you. After all, you're about to be a corpse yourself in a moment. Then Flegel continues his panic plea. Please, before I die, I want to know, what did my father do for you to justify killing him? And then a confused Roger tells Flegel, huh? I thought you'd know. He betrayed us and started helping out those bastards in the scout regiment. And then Flegel, processing this, says, so his orders, they came from the interior police? You guys had him kidnap those scouts. And then Rogers continues explaining. Well, it was a different squad, but yeah, guess old Demo didn't say too much about it. At least, not to his dimwit excuse for his son. And then Flegel now asks, and what if he'd refused to do it? Then Rogers answers, oh, he knew too much. We'd have killed him. I mean, we killed him anyway, but that's what he gets. The damn idiot. What made him think the Survey Corps could help this trash city? And then Flegel sighs and then responds, you would never understand. You think you're real smart shit, don't you? Want to know the last thing my dad taught me? He said a good merchant should trust his nose. And I'm glad I listened, because it led me to the people who could avenge him. And I side with them. And then Rogers appears to have heard enough as he yells at Flegel, you're gonna die here, piggy. No need to be brave. Go on and squeal. And then a brave Flegel tells Rogers, my business with you is over, asshole. Why don't you take a look above you? And then in that moment, Rogers looks up. But what Rogers saw was a pissed off Hanji and her trusted right-hand man Moblet dropping from above, ready to strike. Hanji and Moblet, they take out both of Rogers' MP allies, and then Rogers notices Hanji now coming straight for him. Rogers panics, right? Points the gun at her, sends a bullet her way, but like a stormtrooper, his aim was way off. Hanji was able to dodge the bullet. Hanji, she is now right in front of Rogers, and Hanji lands a fierce, strong, straight right hand that sends Rogers flying backwards. Rogers, he lands hard on his back and appears to be KO'd. As we see Hanji, she grabs her right hand and she begins screaming in pain. Moblet tells Hanji as we see him tying up the other MPs, Section Commander, that was way too reckless. But then a proud Hanji announces,
we pulled it off! Did everyone hear him?
And then MP Rogers now appears to have woken up. And he says to himself, no, the scouts are here? But why? And then to Rogers' surprise, not only did he see the scouts, but he also saw a large gathering of people who call this city their home, as they all stared down at him with disgust. Right? We see them. They're all standing there from the different levels of this supposed abandoned looking motel. One of the citizens announces to Rogers, this dump ain't abandoned. And then another citizen tells him,
bet it seems unlivable to you, yet we're here. This place isn't half as nice as it used to be, but it's still our home. We heard everything about Rice and who had to kill him. Every last one of us is a witness.
And then MP Rogers tells these citizens, yeah, well, it doesn't matter, because it's the government that decides what's true, idiots. Don't even think for a second you can get away with this. You're in for worlds of... Then Flegel decides to shut Rogers up by sitting on the side of his face. Flegel now looks at his fellow citizens and tells them all with confidence, listen, you'll all be fine, because the Reeves Company will protect you. You trusted my father, Demo. Well, now I'm in charge. So from now on, you can count on me. That's a promise. And then there's a brief pause as the citizens just stare at Flegel. But then slowly, the citizens begin clapping. And then the claps turn into an applause for Flegel. Hanji approaches this reformed new Flegel, places her hand on his head, and proudly tells him,
Glad to see you stepped up. Hey, you give him hell, Flegel.
Then Flegel acknowledges, and the crowd continues applauding for him as we notice our press journalists, Roy and his rookie, appearing to have their next story. Wow.
Yay, Flegel glow
Love it.
up.
Wow.
His glow up.
Yeah.
This amazing
Okay.
speech, all while sitting on the side of the head of this hired
This freaking MP,
higher
right,
up
who would just obviously,
MP, yeah.
he's, you know, even though he's lost, he doesn't think he's lost because, again, he's so adamant that the government has so much control that it doesn't matter what you guys do.
Decide what's
The
true.
government decides what's true, right?
It's not about the citizens.
And so we finally get to this point, right, where we get to see this character, where we've seen him for the past couple episodes, right, who seems like they're so frightened, right? They have no
Yeah.
fight in them, right? That, you know, it's just, he's in a way
Just
very pathetic.
Unsure.
You know,
yeah.
he's very pathetic, right?
very unsure. He doesn't really have a whole lot of confidence about anything that
Yeah,
he does.
and I mean, and the confidence thing, we see that he has no confidence in himself, and a lot of it in part is because of all the insults that he gets, right? It's because his father constantly refers to him
Yeah,
as a
his father
dumbass,
constantly
right?
berates
These MPs are calling him a dumbass and stuff, you know. They're literally, they tell him, they call him a piggy, they tell him squid. So we understand that Flegel has been through a lot of hell in his life and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's so cool to see this moment, right, where, you know, Hanji had to convince the hell out of Flegel to go along with his plan,
my
right?
gosh, yeah, he could have so easily been shot and killed
Yeah.
because he was already getting a rifle pointed at him.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, wait.
And so he tried to just, like, you know, go ahead and just spit out all these freaking questions, right?
Yeah.
Rapid fire, boom, boom, boom.
While
you know?
you literally have a gun to you, you have to remember, okay, what am I supposed to be asking? I have to clarify this.
Yeah.
I need to make sure everyone's following. I need to trust Hanji. Which is, you know, I think is a big part of, like what Eddie
he's
said.
saying
I'm surprised Roger didn't shoot him right away.
Didn't shoot him right away.
But
Yeah.
also Roger seems like the kind of person that just like he wants to bask in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to like make them seem even smaller and even you know, like he seems like he enjoys berating them before you know, killing them.
Yeah, definitely.
And even when Hanji comes down to save him, and yes, he misses, but not by a whole lot. Like,
Yeah.
he like gets like the side, like you could see the wind like push her hair.
Yeah, he had
like,
Hanji had to go ahead and
She
literally do a dramatic
She had
duck.
such confidence running after going to fist fight this guy that is holding a gun.
Yeah.
Like that is the I want Hanji's confidence.
Well, we see Hanji. I mean, she is obviously a strange individual who,
Yeah,
you
very
know, she
skilled.
puts herself in these kind of reckless situations.
You can
which
tell
is,
she's maybe not that used to using her bare hands to fight because it
Yeah.
seems to have hurt her after she punches him.
Yeah.
I mean, she does punch him so hard that he's like borderline
it
knocked
causes
out.
him to fly backwards. Like
Yeah.
literally, he's flew and then he's like, boom.
She's like holding her wrist. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't brace your wrist, that's gonna hurt, Hanji.
Yeah. But Hanji, she's put herself in those kind of, you know, life-threatening situations of whenever she's with Titans. You
Yeah,
know?
definitely.
So, you know, Hanji's not one to go ahead and kind of allow that obstacle
Not
to
really
prevent
be
her from,
the
you know,
most careful with her own safety.
which has got to drive Mobley crazy.
She'll be that careful with other people's safety, but with her own, she's like, no, I trust what I'm doing.
Yeah, I like what Kyron is mentioning. Kyron says Hanji learning from Irvin with convincing.
Yeah.
Right, and so we know again to what we talked about having
Learning
to
the
try to
truth.
convince Flegel, right? Because Flegel again is a character where when we saw him on the rooftop with Hanji, he was adamant that Hanji is out of her mind. The government won. I now have accepted the fact that I have to just struggle to survive, right? I'm going to be on the run the rest of my life, right? But then I like it where I want to believe that, Kyron, that Hanji was able to motivate Flegel and convince him that he's going to do this. And it is not just for him. It's not just for his family, but it's literally for with Irvin having the big picture mindset of things, right? This is going to be a moment that is going to change this narrative that has been like skewed and twisted by the government.
Yeah.
And in order for us to go out there and change things back to our, benefit, right? Give us a fighting chance, right? You need to be the one to stand up and show these people, right, that you are going to step up for them, right? And you are going to go ahead and speak the truth.
Yeah.
Right? That these people
it's
deserve.
Not just for Hanji's benefit, it's for Flegel's benefit as well.
These people deserve to know the truth, and we can't allow this government to get away with them murdering your father. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh yeah, and like who's gonna no one better to hear that news from than their own his own son.
Like literally the heir to the Reeves company.
Yeah. And
so,
he really takes that on like no problem, because it doesn't really seem like he was all that interested in the whole company being a merchant aspect when he was with his father. But maybe he's, him being unfortunately forced to mature because his father's dead. Maybe made him realize, like, you're right. Like all my dad cared about was this company, and I should care about it like just as much. And I'm the heir, and I'm, he's clearly comes into his own very quickly. And maybe Hanji helps him.
It was all Hanji.
Yeah.
It was all Hanji.
Hanji just manipulated.
It was all Hanji.
It's actually just Hanji's script. He actually never felt that way. He's just a great actor.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was probably convincing from Hanji, being like, yeah, you want to be the next heir. You're the big man now.
Yeah.
You don't have to hide under your father's giant shadow anymore.
I think the thing though is that maybe Hanji really tried to get this point across, that like it has to be you. Mm-hmm. It has to be you.
Yeah.
One, he's the one who saw. He knows the truth, but also, who is going to be that next person to step in for his father's shoes? He literally is the rightful heir to what we understand is this important company.
And who knows more about the company than the one that was dragged along and insulted along the way? Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to think too, because Flegel because Flegel really felt no love growing up, right?
Yeah.
That Flegel is going to be a very caring and loving parent.
Oh, oof. Sorry about the yawn.
And I think you would be too, Kyron. You would be a very caring and loving parent, definitely too.
But yeah, I definitely feel the same. He would be like the break the cycle, very empathetic kind of person, because he's already doing it.
That's if Flegel is still alive. We do not know, because we do not see Flegel again.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going on with Flegel.
I think we might have seen him maybe one other time, when maybe there's a time gap and whatever, and we go ahead and go back to,
maybe we see him selling
Stowheads, right? This is over in Stowheads, right?
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Actually, I have no idea.
I think this is Stowheads.
I think so.
But no, this is Trost. This is Trost. Because they had to go back to the Trost district. Remember, Irvin or Levi was talking about how there's this, the Kenny squads over in Trost, blah, 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 whatever. And his plan was to go back to Trost, and everybody's like, wait, Juan, you want to go to Trost?
Yeah, you want to go back to where they're at. Yeah, you're right.
So Trost's location, Stowheads is where Annie, and that's where the capital is.
Yeah. I also really like how they have these, like, obviously Rogers didn't believe that this place was inhabitable, because he's so used to this really nice luxury stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think that it's really cool showing that, like, yeah, Attack on Titan isn't always like the buildings of Attack on Titan aren't going to be automatically fixed and clean after these Titans have been fighting here, and after there's been a whole lot of wreckage. Like, yeah, things are going to still be messed up because they don't have the best equipment, the best technology to be able to just quickly fix these homes that have been ruined by rubble and Titan fighting and other occurrences. And I think that that's kind of cool, that's kind of just like in there, that it's like, oh yeah, not everyone lives in these little houses and these little cottages, and sometimes it's a rundown, beat up motel that's been damaged and it hasn't been fixed because other things are going on. Obviously the government cares about other things, so it hasn't been fixed.
It's clear that the further you get from Walsina, the more damage, the more poor, the more terrible
the less
things are
care
gonna
that the government really has for all these other ones. And obviously these people are like, yeah, this is what we call home.
All right, let's continue on. So awesome glow up from Flegel. We love to see it.
Good job, Flegel.
So now it's night, and we're deep in the forest, right? And we hear a soldier telling someone, "Screw you!" But then we hear a kick to the face that follows that statement, and then we see Levi standing over that first interior soldier that they captured at that checkpoint. Levi asks the soldier, "Where'd they take Aaron and Krista?" And then the soldier answers, "You bastard! You think you're so brave? That post was manned by recruits. They barely knew how to wipe their own asses. No one's gonna thank your heroes for beating them down." And Levi responds sarcastically, "Yeah, the guilt's tearing me apart." And Levi then shoves the tip of his right boot inside the soldier's mouth. And Levi continues, "But what really gets at me is this mouth of yours." And Levi shoves his boot deeper. "I'm going to suggest that you start talking while you're still able to use it. Now, where are Aaron and Krista?" Levi releases as the soldier spits out his boot. The soldier coughs up blood, and we notice that the soldier is now missing teeth. "You can't win. All that's left to you now is to find some filthy corner to hide in, covered in mud and shit. If you don't turn yourselves in, and every last scout we capture will get the noose, starting with the guiltiest one of all, Irvin Smith." Levi quickly grabs the soldier, wraps his arm around his back, and pushes the soldier's face against a tree. Levi applies pressure to this arm, and we hear cracking. The soldier screams out in pain. Levi tells the soldier, "Hurts, right? That's what you get for not answering my question." Then the Levi squad, we see they're just watching. Some of them look like they're actually a little disturbed, huh, Lex? We see almost like a little Connie and Sasha are like, they're like,
they didn't watch the interrogation that they've done before.
No, they
just heard it,
the screaming,
and again
right?
they seemed very taken back by even just the sounds of the torture before.
It seems like the one who kind of is unfazed by it is Mikasa,
and
right?
that's she has killed men at a young age. She's seen some things.
Kairos, just pause for a second. Can you imagine how dirty those boots are?
Oh my
Kairos,
God!
Wait, well, never mind. It's Levi. He probably cleans them every day.
Oh yeah. But it's Levi.
And Eddie says, "I wouldn't want to be interrogated by Levi."
No.
The only person worse, maybe that I'm aware of, would probably be Hanji, because Hanji takes joy in torturing without even asking questions.
Yeah. No, Hanji is a different kind of interrogator.
Yeah. So we see that the Levi squad, that they're watching, right? And then Levi continues, "Some scouts' lives are more valuable than others. Only those dumb enough to agree to that join us. Again, where did they take Aaron and Krista?" The soldier, in obvious pain, answers, I don't know. Nobody told me. I swear. Kenny Ackerman doesn't like to make his business known." And Levi releases the man and whispers to himself, "Ackerman." And then we see Mikasa. She gasps as she literally hears her last name.
Yeah.
Then Levi tells the soldier, "I know Kenny. Is that his last name?" The soldier answers, "It is, but..." And then the soldier appears to stop talking, as maybe he stops himself from saying any more, right? But now Levi wonders. He never was one. He never was much of one for sharing information. Not important stuff anyway. But I bet you have a rough idea. He's telling now the soldier, "You'd best try to remember." And then the soldier begs for Levi to stop, as Levi grabs his other arm, and Levi tells him, "You still have plenty of bones left for me to break." And the soldier, in tears, he looks up at Levi and he asks, "Damn it, are you insane?" And then a cold Levi stares the soldier in the eyes. "Maybe." And then Sasha, She notices something as she quickly alerts.
Somebody's coming towards us.
Then Levi drops the soldier flat to the ground, and the other Levi squad members hide their positions. Sasha continues alerting as she has her bow pointed.
And there's more than one.
The soldier now gets cocky again. Told you, you're beat. Struggle all you want. And then we see now 2 hooded soldiers heading in Levi's direction. One way or another, the Servi Corps will be destroyed.
Okay.
All right. Well, this guy, I mean, this is pretty bad torture,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, I
But
think
there's no information coming out though.
yeah. But I think
This dude
still
just keeps running his mouth.
Levi's still being generous to this guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, he shoved
he's
his
in his
boot,
softy art.
right? He shoved his boot in this guy's mouth, right?
Breaking some teeth, you know.
Yeah, he broke his arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's not like doing the typical like, all right, I'm gonna go with each finger. I'm
Yeah.
gonna break each finger. I'm gonna go ahead and rip off each nail. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
and stuff. Like maybe he's just trying to get answers quickly.
Yeah.
I understand that. I mean, they still are on the run, right?
That's
But-
true. They don't have.
I feel like he's still being a little tame here in this situation,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah,
I mean, I know that
The
the rest
torture
of the
could be worse.
squad doesn't think that they're being tame, but they understand that it's necessary. They're not like, stop, ease up. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, this is necessary. It sucks watching. It's hard to watch because you're imagining the pain, but
Yeah.
it's necessary. And then we get that last name,
yeah, we get the last name. We go and finally get the confirmation here, right? Of Kenny.
Kenny being
The last name being Ackerman, right? And we're obviously going to learn more about that. But we see that this is very interesting to Levi because of how secretive Kenny is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Levi, I think he's kind of now, or maybe he's not because he's not aware of his situation, of his relationship with Kenny at this moment, right? But
Yeah.
this is
He
interesting
knows that
news to him.
He knows him.
Right? Can you imagine knowing somebody for however long and barely realizing that that's their last
Oh,
name?
His last name is Ackerman. Got it.
Now, what's going through Mika's mind?
She's gonna
Where
be like,
she's
is
like,
that my uncle?
hold
Is
on.
that I'm related?
Am I
to him?
somehow related to Kenny the
Kenny
Ripper?
the Ripper? Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting, right? And we understand that Mikasa doesn't get her, Asian heritage
Yeah,
from
she doesn't
the
get
Ackerman.
it as an Ackerman. Yeah, it's
She
her
gets that
father's
from-
last name.
Yeah, she gets the Asian heritage from her mother's side, right? And we obviously are explained in season 4 of that importance, right? But
So the last name Ackerman is her father's.
is her
last
father's?
name.
But I mean, it's like her father didn't appear to be tough.
No,
So
no.
it's kind of strange.
I mean, we don't
to go
know.
ahead
Maybe he didn't unlock his powers yet.
maybe he was just very easily
Maybe he
disposed
said that just
of.
like Levi.
Hey, Doc, we were just talking about you.
Yeah. He
like,
didn't.
okay,
and those
you
powers did not
are-
unlock.
Are you sure you're an Ackerman?
Yeah. Are you? He just stole the last name.
But yeah, so nonetheless, Mikasa is probably confused as all hell. As we saw, she gasped at the
And even like
that
Levi,
information.
like turns over to her real quick too. Like he's like Ackerman. huh?
That's your name, right?
Yeah, you got that? All right. Anyways, let's continue. Where are Krista? And he's still using the name Krista, obviously, because
Yeah.
they don't know that her name is Historia. Not they, meaning the scouts. Obviously, Levi and the scouts, they know.
Yeah,
but,
Levi knows, but if Levi,
the dude that they're torturing doesn't know.
yeah. Well,
So
I
they
think
have
he
to-
might know because, I mean, if they're getting their
Or maybe he
information
doesn't want to
from
let
the Rice
let
family and
him
stuff,
know
you
that they know.
Yeah, I guess maybe, but I think
So
it's
he knows
more
that
like,
they know, but they're trying to let them know that he doesn't know, because then if he knows that they know, then they know that they know. You know?
You guys all got that? I hope you understood.
You got that? All right. Last name's Ackerman? Yeah.
Maybe I interpreted it of just Levi just being stubborn in his ways and being like, "Oh, your name's Historia.
Your
I'm gonna
name is
keep calling you
Krista."
Krista." And it's kind of like a respecting, because we see that later on when Historia goes out of her way to do the whole punching Levi thing.
Yeah.
I think at that moment Levi's like, "Thanks, I really needed that." And then it's like,
Yeah.
you know what? You earn my respect.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm gonna call you by your actual name.
Maybe you are royalty. Okay, Astoria. Maybe you're not.
But for all we know, maybe he knows that she knows, and so therefore they know that
So they
that's
know.
what's known.
And yeah, but it's known, but they can't let him know that they know.
Interesting.
Otherwise, he'll know that they know.
We don't want.
That's why they're trying to know what he.
We don't want them to know that they know.
Yeah, but right now they're trying to know what he knows, but he's not letting them know what he knows.
There's no way of knowing.
Yeah, who knows? You guys got that? Yeah, you guys keeping up? Yeah, you guys are keeping up.
But here's the thing, though, is that this checkpoint, right? The least manned checkpoint, right? Obviously, the checkpoint that Marlowe,
rookies or recruits or whatever he says.
the checkpoint that Marlowe showed the scouts, right? He's trying to do his part now. Now that he became a scout.
Fine, I'll tell you my info.
This first interior soldier is making it known that you think you guys did something.
Yeah.
Those are a bunch of freaking rookies.
Yeah.
All right.
They did make it look really easy though.
It literally was like a blink for us. Like
Yeah.
literally just
So
blink.
I do believe that it's filled with rookies then because they made that look super easy.
It's like, you think you guys accomplished something? Just wait until our other more experienced MPs show up. And guess what? I don't think he wants to die. I'm saying I was gonna be like, guess what?
Yeah.
Even if you
You're just
kill
gonna
me,
get-
you're still gonna die.
Or
Whatever.
we're gonna something about like make you pay.
I don't
and
think
then
he's-
starting with Irvin Smith.
Yeah, I don't think he's that like much of like he's that willing to die for the cause, you know?
No, I don't think so either.
But I don't know. But nonetheless, they took care of a bunch of rookies. And so now we got two what appears to be soldiers walking through the fields, and they're making their way, getting closer to Levi and his squad. All right. So now let's talk about this last part of this episode. So now we arrive at a prison cell where we see that they're holding Irvin Smith. We see an exhausted, he looks like he's starving Irvin, who's chained against the wall by his arm, by his good arm.
his one arm.
We see a man enter this cell. This man walks to Irvin. This man, Niall Dock, tells Irvin, "You've seen better days. Kind of funny. You were lecturing me just the other day. Soon, you'll be sent before the king. Then, his council will determine your sentence and what to do with the Survey Corps." An exhausted Irvin responds, "So, you came. Tell me, Niall, where do you live? Stohis, was it? How's Marie? How are your children? I trust they're all in good health?" And Niall stares at Irvin, surprised, caught off guard by the questions. Niall answers, "Marie and the kids they should be fine. I haven't been home in a while, but it's in Wall Rose on the east side." Irvin responds, "I see." And Niall now asks, "Why ask that? What's going on?" Irvin answers, "I entrusted something to Commander Pixis. Whenever that crucial moment comes, what happens next is out of my hands. It'll be your choice to make, yours and theirs." And Niall Dock, the commander of the MPs, just stares as he processes, as he thinks about Irvin's words. And then the next scene, the scene changes, and now we see in the Capitol, sitting around the table, our important council of these important members. One of the members asks,
So, what did we learn from the interrogation?
Another member answers, "Not much. Irvin didn't even realize that Pastor Nick was with the Order of the Walls. So, Historia can make all the claims about her name she wants, and it won't matter. They'll all amount to nothing." That first member now says,
They don't know it. But, in truth, they're nothing more than cattle in a pen, simply waiting to die.
Then they stop talking as they hear knocking on the door. The door opens as a man walks in and informs the members, "My apologies, but Irvin Smith has arrived." And then we see now Irvin Smith being escorted by a group of MPs. These MPs each are holding on to an end of the rope, and this rope is tied around Irvin's body. The member tells the messenger,
Very well. We'll be along. Once Irvin has been executed, all will be according to plan. The secrets of the walls will be kept as safe as ever, and the king's peace will be ensured forever.
Then the door opens now for Irvin as he sees the king sitting front and center in his throne. The king is surrounded by his council and many military police. The MPs escort Irvin and present him to the king, and they place Irvin on his knees. The council member announces, as we stare at a stern and unwavering Irvin,
Irvin Smith, do you have any last words? To be continued.
Wow.
And that's how it ends.
Well,
That is episode 4.
that's episode 4. Irvin looks like he's in a very, very bad situation.
But
He's
his
in
face
bad.
still shows like drive, and like his face still shows very like stern, like he's just very confident in what he believes in, which obviously we know Irvin. He very much is.
That's a lot of trust to have in Commander Pixis, right?
Yeah.
And not just that too, but also in having the truth being revealed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy is really putting his trust in his respected allies, but also like there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
And man, Irvin, he's clearly not in good shape, right?
No.
I mean, when we see him there chained in that prison cell,
He does not look like they've been treating him very well.
they obviously have tortured him because we see that he's got swelling along the eye, right? He's got bruises, right? He's
Yeah.
got cuts.
No, he looks very swollen. Yeah.
And he looks malnourished, right? I mean, he just looks like he hasn't really had much sleep, in really, really rough shape.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's still unwavering, right? From his faith, from his
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Irvin.
strength, you know, his
We know that's
this
what Irvin is.
passionate strength that he has, this mental strength, and that can be very, very scary, especially when you have somebody who literally should be giving up, right? Have no more fight in them, right? And we see when he's having this conversation with Nile Doc, he is still like saying certain, giving questions, saying certain things that really has Nile Doc thinking like,
Yeah.
what is this man? Why is he asking me
Reminding
this?
them, hey,
Why?
you have a wife and kids.
You know, and he even goes as far as saying like, look, like pretty much, even if they kill me, you're going to be presented with a choice, right? And he even, I mean, some might say this is, you know, crossing the line, but Irvin goes and he brings up his family,
Yeah.
which obviously Nile Doc cares a lot about, but he
Irvin's
says
convincing.
himself,
He's convincing.
he hasn't seen his family in a while. So maybe now it's like manipulating Niall to think about his family and their safety and stuff, you know. I'm not thinking that Irvin is implying that something's going to happen to his family, but I think that it's like, look, you have an opportunity.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but
My fidget rings I've been playing with the entire episode.
nice. And, you know, it's just another kind of master manipulating tool of just like,
Irvin's big
I
brain.
need you to remember that, like, I may be gone, but you know it doesn't end with me.
Yeah.
You know, and which is true because even if Irvin
That's
ends up dying, right? Let's say he does, you know, get executed. Like we see that they're still gonna go ahead and they still were able to get the truth from Flegel, from the MPs, right? So there still would be a coup d'etat,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't be a bloodless coup d'etat because, you know, unfortunately the first bloodshed would be Irvin himself, right? And then, you know, all hell's going to break probably between the scouts and stuff, you know, and then you have the people who'd be fighting against, you know, the government and stuff, you know. It would become a very messy situation, but man, Irvin himself is just still so stone cold and so just like you said, he just is not wavering one bit
No,
from his
not at
stance.
all.
He's not,
He's still very
you know,
confident in his moral
panicking.
ideals.
He's not, you know, afraid for his
Entrusting
life.
Pixis and the cause and all the moving pieces combined and
Yeah. So it's all insane. But you know what? We talked about it, man. Irvin himself, he's just he's a cold dude, man.
Yeah.
You know?
We know what he's willing to do to get to that truth.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and kind of scan this very quickly because I think there might have been something that I want to go ahead and touch upon. We talked about the question that Irvin had for Niall, right? We see that Irvin trusts Commander Pixis.
Still has.
We're talking about the members here, right?
Yeah.
So one of the members says that Irvin didn't even realize that Pastor Nick was with the Order of the Walls. Huh. So that obviously implies that Pastor Nick was a part of this council, right?
Yes.
So, Pastor Nick was somebody that we know that he kept all of his information close to the chest and he died with it, right?
Yeah.
So, Pastor Nick, this has me thinking a little bit. Was he still an ally to Hanji and them? We understand his death meant something to Hanji. Hanji refers to Pastor Nick as a friend, but
I don't know if she meant friend, like she actually meant to say, like she was being truthful when she said friend, or is she just saying that to, like, because I took that as she was just saying that to, I forgot what that military police, the higher rank one, I forgot what his name was.
yeah, it's not Hannes, it's like
It's
Sanes.
Yeah. Sanes. What she tells Sanes is like, oh, I came here, like, I rushed over because I heard something happened to my friend. I took that as her, like, cover story of why she rushed over there.
Yeah.
Quickly, as that being like, yeah, I'll refer to him as my friend, but he's not.
But she doesn't refer to him again when she finally has him in prison, Sanes.
Well,
Maybe I'm mistaken.
I'm pretty sure that, well, because the only time that we ever hear her refer to Pastor Nick as her friend is to Sanes. So I took that as, like, that's her cover story.
Gotcha. So, point being that Pastor Nick was never an ally.
I don't think so. They definitely wanted him to be, but obviously he was just so...
Because he did
very much
explain,
kept
though.
it.
He did explain, though, about the importance of Historia.
Yes.
Right, so we did give that.
He was
right?
able to, give that up.
He didn't say anything to these MPs who were going to go ahead and kill him anyways, right? But
he just said she's the key. He more or less just led them to the way of the truth than just telling them the truth.
This had me thinking, though, of when he said this, I'm like, okay, with Pastor Nick's involvement, we understand that, you know, he was a very intelligent, knowledgeable person, right? Who wouldn't give any of his secrets away, right? But he did kind of mention an important secret. He was very coy about it, right? He pretty much talked about Historia and how important she is. But I was like, man, he was affiliated with these people, this council, right? So it's like, man, like, Pastor Nick wasn't really that much of an ally.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's not like we really got much information.
Yeah. I guess maybe for me, I was feeling a little bit more upset about his death because of, you know, like, thinking that he was a part of that team, you know? But I guess no. I guess the reality of it is that he was just, you know, obviously captured by Hanji and kind of what's stuck having to, you know, travel with them. And I guess, I don't know. But just something that I was kind of curious about. I was like, wow. But Pastor Nick was affiliated with these.
With that. Yeah, I didn't even recognize that when I first watched Attack on Titan and everything. And honestly, it's been like so long since obviously we can't remember every single bit in piece, all of Attack on Titan as much as we try. But I honestly didn't even remember Niall having like a wife and kids.
Yeah.
Or his isn't it just like one daughter?
It might be just a daughter, yeah.
But I really don't remember any of that. I'm like, oh, this is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that these people...
So much happens in Attack on Titan that I just don't remember. I just can't remember all of it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we go back and review it because then we can like tie everything together, see how how brilliant everything is.
And so we end here with this council member telling Irvin, as you mentioned, right, that he is still unwavering. He is just, again, coldly staring, right, And they tell him, do you have any last words? Wow.
And that is it. We get our to be continued.
Interesting. All right. So we're just about hitting the oh my god, Marco joins us as we get to a conclusion.
We're literally closing right now.
But Marco, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. We can go ahead and stick around a little bit.
Yeah.
We just got done finishing this episode here, right? But Marco, we appreciate your response, my friend. We've talked about it. We talked about it even when you joined us live. But Ymir again is a character where the Q&A we got here, right? Of shout out to Sadie.
Hi,
What's up, Sadie? Ymir is a character that would be awesome to go ahead and have bring back to life, right?
Yeah. We've been very passionate about this whole topic of Ymir's decision.
But Lexi brings up an interesting little theory here that as much as Ymir cared about Historia, if Ymir goes back to the walls with Historia, let's say this was the little hypothetical I brought, right? Where I was like, she wants to confess her feelings. She goes in for a kiss for Ymir. Ymir goes in for a kiss with Historia. And this is what ends up happening in Lexi's mind. Historia is like, what was that for? And then Historia makes it clear that she sees Ymir as only a friend.
My gaydar does not go off for Historia.
So
in all honesty, so I feel like Historia is just. I feel like she obviously cares a lot about Ymir. She has a lot of love for Ymir, but I don't think that she romantically has feelings for Ymir. I think that she's just super empathetic for her and is just like. Yeah, I was going to say, like, also, yeah, I completely agree, Marco. Also, Historia could be so naive that she doesn't even realize that Ymir is gay. She could just be like, oh my god, we're besties. We're just best friends. And then, like, she goes in for a kiss and she's like, what? I thought we were just... You ruined the sleepover. I thought we were just having girl talk. Like, well, yeah, I like... Then, like, Ymir would be like, you don't know? What?
Yeah, they probably don't even know what a gay person is.
Historia could be so sheltered because it doesn't feel like Island of Parody is the most liberated, the most like exposed. That doesn't really feel like they're exposed a whole lot to all those ideals, all those things.
Probably more so than Marley. Marley looks like they're as
oh my gosh, Marley looks
strict as they get.
Yeah, Marley looks
and
like
if there is a gay person, they're probably going to go out there and stone that person to death.
Could be about these ideas.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. She was totally asked to experiment.
Well, how do you know you don't like you should try? Yeah. I'm like, but I think that they would just end up just like having love for each other, and maybe Ymir would eventually be like, screw this.
Okay, maybe. But my curious mind immediately thinks that okay, Historia is the reason why Ymir came back. So let's say she gets friend zoned. Does that mean Ymir is going to go ahead and run off again?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I think that for a while they would stay friends, whatever. But I think that Ymir would have too much like going on.
The pain would be too much.
Yeah, she'd have a broken heart.
Every time I see her, it breaks my heart.
Or maybe she thinks that
I can't put myself through this anymore. That's it. I have to kill the queen.
Maybe she thinks that she can
and
convert
Ymir eats Historia.
I don't think that would happen.
You don't think she would?
I'm not really agreeing with that hypothetical.
You think she would eat her? Eat her?
Yeah, she would want to eat her, but Historia.
I want just a nibble.
Just try it. No, I don't. Historia doesn't give me gay or bi.
Ymir, though, on the other hand.
Yeah, Ymir is gay as fuck.
Also, to catch you up, Marco, Eddie and Kyron created a Titan, right?
Yes. No, I think it was
Kyron created this Titan.
Yeah, Kyron created a new Titan,
and
it's pretty cool. I like the idea of it.
So Kyron's theory is that had Marlo, this is a little plot twist here that Kyron would have created, is that
Marco.
No. Upon Jean giving this experiment, this test to Kyron and Eddie things.
Yeah, just Kyron and Eddie things.
But
yeah.
Marlowe and Hitch plot twist. They are Titans, but they aren't just Titans. They are, what is the name of the Titan again?
It's something in Torah.
I forgot the name of it, but Mortal Kombat character where you have like the tank character, and then there's like this little like troll-like creature that also is like right on the back of it. So they're kind of like a dual type character. But
my most recent, I went to go search it up. My most recent search is Flegel sitting on AOT.
Yes. Ferrator.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Ferrator from Mortal Kombat would be the inspiration for this Marlowe slash Hitch character, and that would be their name. Would be Slash.
Yeah.
No.
It would be the Slash Titan.
They would be known as Mitch the Titan.
Mitch. Yes.
And
they'd be known.
I think there's so much potential there. Can you imagine like the awesome combat that they would have with other Titans where they're working together? Where it's
with
like,
their one time use.
Yeah, there's a stipulation is that they have a one-time use where if shit hits the fan, that they can cause like a nuke explosion.
Yeah.
Just like the Colossal does. But we've came to the conclusion that they aren't going to survive from it, right?
Yeah, they survive.
That Mitch, or as Eddie also mentioned, Slash.
Yeah. They would survive from it, just like how the Colossal survived from their
it's kind of like a special ability
but it's like a one-time, like
it's a one-off.
You can only do that every time you transform.
Yeah.
So for every transformation, and obviously every time you get weaker and weaker, so you don't have it a whole lot.
Yeah. But Eddie also theorized that instead of this, Ferrator type inspiration of a character, that they would just simply go fusion.
Yeah, and then
they would somehow fuse together and become this awesome, strong bowl cut slash.
Yeah,
Hitch's hair.
Isn't her hair like a white blonde?
It's like weird and not grayish, but it's like
it's like a platinum white
but
blondish.
I'm trying to think of like it'd be like a bowl cut slash like shaggy mullet, maybe.
But maybe with her, maybe it's a bowl cut with her color hair.
Okay, but it's legit bowl cut. It's not just kind of like a hybrid.
Maybe it's like mine.
And
except it's the short with with her like
there you go
shagginess.
Yeah.
So maybe they have bowl cut.
Thank you so much, Lex, for that. Actually getting yourself a Marlowe. I love it.
Yeah, I love Marlowe so much. I got the bowl cut.
Yeah.
Obviously. I just forgot to cut these off, and then have her length and her shaggy.
Yeah, and then Marco says with the genitalia, right?
Yeah, with a female Attack on Titan hybrid. Yeah, it has male, even though Titans don't have genitalia. This one would for some reason.
Well, no, this isn't a Titan. This is fusion.
Oh, this is them. This is them.
Yeah, this is a fusion.
Okay, so they would have male genitalia. It would be like
Mitch is their Titan form, and Slash is their fusion form.
Yes, and it'd be like the genitals would be like an intersex person.
Yeah,
where you just have both.
Exactly. Boom, we got it.
And they referred to that one is Slash, and they kick Jean's ass. Yeah. Then they go and say, "Screw this! We're gonna go ahead we're gonna explode the entire forest and get them all."
Yep.
They nuke it.
But they only have 30 minutes because that's how long the fusion technique lasts, right? And then now that opens the door for learning the technique from other characters to do that. If they want to go and get the time to teach, if Marlowe and Hitch, where do they learn this from? Are they just Dragon Ball Z fans or something?
I guess.
Probably.
I don't know. They've just been watching too much anime. I don't know.
Yeah, I've watched Dragon Ball Z. And who would they teach? Who would they teach the fusion technique to? They can't teach Annie.
Yeah. It would have been
what if
Raina and Barrett.
Connie and Sasha, Taekwondo duo.
Oh, that would have been
They become Kasha.
Yeah.
Or
nope, can't be Sani because we have Bean.
Yeah.
Sana.
Sana.
Yeah, Sana. Right? That's what it would be, Sana.
You have them. That'd be another awesome fusion combination.
It'd be a half.
Huh?
No, I'm trying to think of what their hair would look like.
Sasha's a mindless Titan would be wild.
Yeah.
I think that if Sasha was a Titan, her awareness would be insane. Oh, yeah,
because she has those hunters instincts.
She already has that hunter instinct,
and
right?
She's already...
Hunter!
Think about how... Yeah. Oh, think about how, like... Yeah, I was about to say, think about how she is
Pretty
for just
brutal.
normal food.
What if she's a
As a
Titan that has a
person?
built-in bow and arrow, or like a built-in like how
Like it shoots
yeah.
like on their
Like-
off their spine or something. Because think about how desperate she is for food as a just human being. About how desperate she would be to
Oh my
eat
gosh,
these
her appetite
people.
would be insane.
Yeah, like she would like never have to throw up. Her stomach would be huge.
No, she'd be the type where she threw up, she'd be eating her puke
Yeah,
again.
she would eat
she'd
her
be
puke.
eating her puke.
Let's
and
not waste it.
be
Okay,
like,
Sasha.
It's so good, gotta eat it twice. And her father was like, "God damn, Sasha, what are you doing?"
I know. Oh yeah, where's Sasha's? No, we know where. Just kidding. We know where he's at. Just kidding. Just
Where?
kidding. I was about to ask, where's her father?
Where am I at?
Her mindless Titan would lunge really far to catch prey. Yeah, like how it did in the first season.
That still doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I understand it's like to dramatize her hunger, right? Her appetite,
It's
right?
Isayama just
She
having a little bit of
smells
fun.
bread. You know,
Let
he
him
goes
have
out
a
there.
little bit of fun. He's having to deal with traumatic stories all the time. We're working him to the bone. He can have his fun with a.
Huh?
What did we call her? What did we call that, Sasha?
Demon Sasha. I
Yeah,
don't know
Demon
demon
Sasha.
form, but I don't know. All I know is that that's something.
Nezuko
That's
Sasha?
another question that I have. Like, I need answers to that. Like, why was that? Like, is it implied that she?
If we ever went to an expo with Isayama,
Yeah.
that'd be the question you would ask.
He was, yeah, Marco say he was too shy to give us a kiss scene though.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, he didn't want to have that much fun.
Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately.
You know
Hey,
what? That would have brought
just
sanity.
like how Mikasa was too shy to, she hit him with the, your family. When he asked,
did,
"What am
she
I to
did,
you?"
yeah.
She brother zoned him.
Yeah, and then there was like, all right.
That is the zone you
what?
can't escape.
That was the moment when he realized, I'm gonna kill every other person. Yeah, I just know he was blushing. Yeah, he was blushing for sure.
What am I to you? Your family.
Family,
Like,
duh.
Now I must
Alright.
commit genocide because you answered that we're
You
family.
had your chance,
and you
guess
are
what?
extremely blurry.
Now I'm gonna kill.
Oh, the moment you looked, it was like, no, I'm not.
Everybody else.
I'm not blurry
I'm
anymore.
gonna kill them all. And yeah.
She really family zoned him like that. I know. She really did him dirty.
Yeah.
Your family.
Her fault. The rumbling.
I know.
started.
It's all her fault that there's been this mass genocide now. It's all her fault.
What does Sadie think? Okay.
I know. And I know.
Who does she want to bring back to life?
Oh my gosh.
I
yeah,
hope
she
that
didn't
Sadie is an AOT fan. Please inform us, Marco. Sadie, who do you want to bring back to life? All these characters that we've lost, man. You know what?
Yeah, who's the one?
Who
that
do
you're
you
like,
want
yeah,
brought back to life?
that's the one.
She's a big fan. Oh, should be a good answer.
I'm expecting to hear a full in-depth
She's
analysis.
like, I want Petra to come back. I want.
I know.
She starts naming out every single member.
Yeah.
She said Irvin without Armin having to die. It's
Yeah,
what,
so
actually,
what we were talking
we
about
talked
earlier.
about it. Yeah, we talked about with
Yeah,
Irvin.
because
That,
someone answered Irvin.
so we had to go ahead and get theorized as to how he would
So
survive.
he would have never gotten the kidney stone, and he would have come back, and yeah, so Armin would have had the yeah. We basically said that.
I like how you gave it a shot.
Yeah.
You're like, Irvin would have been the.
Yeah. It's clearly
so
my.
we
my
talked
brain.
about
yeah,
it.
so we did talk about it. Yeah. So yeah.
So that's why. So she wants to hear his sexy voice again, or is that you, Marco?
No,
you want to
Marco's
hear his
saying,
sexy
so
voice
I
again?
can, unless that's
Okay.
her typing.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, we talked about how he still gave Hanji the role of commander.
Both.
Yeah, both. Okay,
Makes sense.
got it.
I figured.
It's mutual. How he gave her the role of commander, so she would still have that, and obviously he's missing an arm still. So,
Let's ask Marco and Sadie. Now, she said Sasha.
okay, instead of Irvin, it's now Sasha.
Okay, so I want to ask you though about Irvin. This is something that Lexi just talked about right now.
No
where
one said Sasha. I'm realizing.
Nobody did say Sasha. No.
No.
She said she wishes Gabi was never developed in the womb. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. If we could kill one character that
Yeah.
have a character never exist.
But I wanna
maybe
ask,
that's
though.
our next.
I wanna
next
ask.
question.
If Irvin survives, right? One that's awesome is that he gets to go to the cellar. We talked about that. That'd be cool. He gets to go to the cellar
he
and
would
find
get-
out more of the truth, right? But do you think that he continues allowing Hanji to be the commander? Or do you think Commander Irvin remains a commander because he survives? I don't know. It's just a thought. What do you guys think? Do you think he stays this, Sasha? Not Sasha. Sasha's not commander worthy.
Sasha.
Hanji. Oh, Marco says that he would stay the commander.
Oh, so he would just be like, "Psych, Hanji, I'm taking it back."
So Sadie says that. Oh, gotcha.
They need him.
They do.
I feel like he would be this armlet. I mean, we talked.
Taco Bell? You hungry?
I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna stop talking.
We talked about it, right? And he would be very limited. He wouldn't be able to contribute in battle because he has one arm. So his best way of contributing would be leading. And I think that he would make a great commander. Obviously, he is a great commander, but continue his reign as the commander, and Hanji would just be, again, just a badass section commander Hanji.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know.
Should.
We pretty much, in that storyline, continue saying that Hanji would be the commander and Irvin would be the section commander, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nobody else could lead a whole army to die, and all Levi needs is 2 fingers.
Actually,
how crazy is that?
That throughout the anime, he's always only been using these 2 because he holds them like he doesn't hold them like in front of him. He holds them like this.
Interesting.
So he's always only used these 2 fingers. So it just happened to be that the only 2 fingers that are left after the explosion,
Eddie loves it,
is he holds the blade like this, as how you're supposed to hold a blade, instead of them holding it where it comes out this way, like a Beyblade. So he's always only used these 2 fingers. So he got lucky in getting these all blown off and not the ones that he uses. He only needs these 2 fingers.
Isn't it so cool realizing like how much of a badass Levi is?
Yeah, that he even holds his. Not only does he have a different style of killing, he holds his blades differently. He's such a tryhard.
He's just such a complex character. I mean, even just the way he drinks his tea.
I know he has to. That's because his nose is small enough for it, though.
True. Yeah.
What was that theory that he drinks it this way to make fun of Irvin because Irvin can't drink it that way because his nose is too big?
Really?
Yeah, it's like a headcanon.
God damn.
He
brutal.
Teases Irvin that, you can't drink like this because your nose is too big, but my nose is tiny. I can drink.
Does Irvin really have that big of a nose though?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Big ol' nose. I like to believe that. Yeah, it's like a headcanon that people have.
Yeah.
So how long are we in now? We're are we?
I know somebody who takes a liking to distinct noses.
Levi jealous that girls like Irvin's big nose. Yeah, I love big noses. I love me a big old schnoz.
Schnoz?
A big old schnoz. Yeah.
Schnauzer?
When there's a little, when they have the bump.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, Marco knows. Marco is aware.
Interesting. All right. Levi, though. I mean, do you think Levi's a jealous type?
Not out loud. Marco, I'm aware. Not out loud, but no, I don't. I wouldn't say jealous. I would say competitive.
Do you think Irvin's a flirt?
Very aware. Irvin?
Yeah.
No. I
No?
don't think he has time to think about flirting. I think Irvin's just along for the ride. And I think Levi is I think Levi's way of flirting is teasing. So that's why he does the cup thing.
Who's the biggest flirt?
Hitch.
Yeah, she is. Yet she still hasn't found love, right?
Yeah.
She's still searching. She
very much gives off pick me vibes. She just wants to be wanted. Not and then when she gets it, she's like, no, I like when you were chasing me better. She's
So
gives
then
me
her and
she gives me
Marlo
that
wouldn't
vibe.
last.
No, I don't think she's mature enough for a relationship.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Not for one with Marlo. That's not with precious Marlo.
Yeah. Poor Marlo. All right. Well, is there anything else we want to talk about?
No. I am good.
Marlo is too good for. I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
You know,
Not for my precious Marlo.
that's why I've been on record to say John should have killed.
I love him
Hitch.
so much. I got a bowl cut.
Should have killed Hitch and then just let Marlo join instead.
I know.
Instead, they had to be packaged.
I'm like, I know your resolve, but yours? I don't know hers.
I'm kidding.
Jabbity, jabbity, jab, jab, jab. Nah, Jean doesn't have it in him.
Ugh. All right. Well, Marco, we appreciate you joining. Appreciate you introducing us to Sadie. Nice to meet you, Sadie. And we would love for you both to continue joining us.
Yes.
We've missed you, Marco. We are glad and hope that you are doing well. You almost missed it, but guess what? As fate has it, we have connected again.
You know,
And yeah, man,
brought us
stop by more often.
7 p.m.
We love your
every
presence.
Sunday.
We love your presence, and you know, we've missed you. So
One day me and Sadie will come visit. Yeah, maybe
that'd be awesome.
that just happens to be, you guys just happen to come over at a 7 p.m. on a Sunday?
Maybe we already have a guest plan for next week.
Oh, some announcements.
I gotta sneak into the podcast again.
Yeah, sneak in. We totally didn't just like openly invite you. You definitely snuck in.
But yeah, so we might have a guest join us live next week, which would be exciting. And so stay tuned for that, guys. That'd be really, really cool to have another guest join us live and just get to talk about some more AOT topics.
Of course.
So
What else would we?
I gotta pee again, but we're gonna go ahead and get to a close.
No. You broke the seal.
I did. Broke the seal. Is that a secret voice actor? I would love for that to be the case.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Can you imagine that? All of a sudden.
No,
yeah,
we would
all right,
have
guys.
straight up told you. We would have been
Joining
like,
us is Bryce Papenbrook
Oh my
himself,
gosh,
Aaron
yeah,
Yeager.
that would be
all
absolutely
right, Bryce,
insane.
what is up?
yeah, he never answered my email about us inviting him. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Nah, I don't know what Bryce.
I think his name is Frank Grell. Is it Frank Grell
Grell, who
does Armin?
Yeah, Frank.
Is it Frank or is it something Grell?
Josh Grell.
Josh Grell.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Josh Grell's brother Frank is going to join us.
Yeah, his brother Frank.
He's going to talk to us about his
We have
brother.
a distant relative from Clifford Chapin.
J. Michael Tatum himself. You get to hear that beautiful voice,
Oh my
Marco. Can you
God.
imagine?
That would be, yeah, that would
Oh
be
my
something
God.
different.
Sadie is in her Aaron era again.
Aaron era. What version of era?
Scared.
What?
Uh-oh.
What version of era? What version of Aaron? That's what
Yeah,
I meant
Aaron's
to
a
say.
virgin. He's a virgin, right?
Aaron, yeah, Aaron's no one would commit mass genocide unless they're a virgin.
True.
Gosh, such virgin activities.
Oh, man bun.
Oh, the man bun era, of course. Got it.
Gotcha.
Got it.
What other phase?
What other phase? He went through a lot of phases. Wow, she's really into genocide lately. It's been really concerning.
So this has me thinking now, Lex, who is the voice actor? It doesn't have to be specific to Attack on Titan, but who is your dream guest voice actor who would join us?
I really want to say the man, the myth, the legend. But what if I just said something outright? Like I was like, oh, Jack Black. Like what if he's a voice actor?
It's true.
He does Bowser. Speaking of, you need to listen to the song Peaches that he sings.
Yeah. I've heard.
She's been talking about something called the rumbling. I
Oh,
actually
geez.
don't know. I think because of my inner Bakugo fangirl, I would want to have Clifford
Chapin?
But I don't know. I think I would be grateful just to have whoever. Well, I've been fidgeting with it so much, I ripped it.
Wow.
My
You are
fidget
the
ring.
fidget master.
It's okay. They were a gift.
Yeah. So, Clifford Chapin?
I would be grateful for any of them.
Okay, that's
honestly.
the politically correct answer, right?
Yeah,
I would
any
just
of
be
them.
so thankful just to have a voice actor.
If I could just ask you one question, please, sir.
Yeah, that's my answer. What's yours? Who would you have?
I want to answer, but I want to also know from our friends joining us.
And why
I want to know
do
Eddie.
you
I want
get
to
to
know
withhold your
Marco.
answers?
I want to know Kyron, Sadie. I want to know from all of you, who is the voice actor you would love to have a conversation with? I mean, it's so hard not to say Christopher Sabat.
Yeah, Chris Sabat.
Right?
Yeah. That's who I was referring to when I said the man, the myth,
But
the
it's like,
legend.
okay, he would be amazing, of course.
Duh.
But again, I would be fine. I mean, I'd be okay with, just,
Jay
Kellen
Mike.
Goff
Yeah.
or something,
I'd be
who plays
okay with
Porco and all that,
Kellen
right? He also
or
plays
with-
Overhaul.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I'd be okay.
my guy Eric
With
Vale.
Eric- yeah,
I
with
mean, I
Eric
don't know.
Vale.
So Marco's saying that the Japanese voice actor
Oh,
for
the
Irvin.
Japanese VA for Irvin. Yeah.
Okay. Or was that Sadie's response? I don't know.
Yeah. Aaron's.
Aaron or Levi's for Sadie. Okay.
Okay. Oh, Levi. Oh, Aaron's Japanese voice actor is really good.
All right. I would love to hear from Eddie and from Kyron if they would like to go ahead and include their input.
They're still thinking. They're gonna give the.
Dad would have to translate. Does that mean that her dad speaks Japanese?
Oh, that's
That's freaking cool.
actually really. That's a good fun fact.
Yeah.
I feel like Eddie's just gonna give that response where it's like the same one I had, where it's like,
Anybody?
yeah, anyone. I'd be grateful for any of them. Oh, her dad does speak Japanese. That is so cool.
That is super cool.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Marco.
He was born and
do you
raised in
watch-
Tokyo.
I think I know the answer to this because I think both of you were on my throat about it. But
Okay.
Marco, you watch Hunter x Hunter, right? Because I've been on that Hunter x Hunter train, man. I finally started watching it again. And yeah, everybody had told me I stopped watching it at like a crucial moment where like
Yeah.
things are gonna start getting so good. Why did you
You
stop?
literally stopped right before the arc like started.
And I'm hooked. I'm hooked, baby. I'm
good,
hooked.
good, good.
I'm ooga shaka, ooga, ooga, ooga shaka.
I can't stop this feeling.
We're getting claimed today.
I know. That's why I was like, maybe I should stop because
Eddie says Troy Baker.
Yeah,
right?
Troy
The voice of
Baker.
Naruto and the Irvin voice actor for the English dub. Yeah, J. Michael Tatum.
yeah, J. Michael.
Marco,
probably
you
stopped at the
probably stopped at the ant.
Yeah, he
arc. I
stopped
did,
right before
it.
the
Yeah, literally right
Chimera
before
arc.
it.
But
And
now
then-
he's still watching and he's pretty.
So the reason why I started watching it
I
again.
think he's like in the meat of it right now.
The reason why I started watching it again because I had a work trip to Boston. I was going to be in Boston for 5 days. Boston, So I started.
Yeah, now he.
I decided that I was going to go ahead and watch.
gets the accent sometimes when you mention Boston.
I was
yeah.
gonna watch an anime, but as I was thinking to myself that one that I really want to go ahead and start watching is I want to continue on with One Piece, but however.
You're still going with the accent?
Oh, sorry, I got lost in it. But however, I couldn't download the newest episodes, the newest dubbed episodes, right? So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna watch Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't dubbed yet either for me to watch at that time,
Weird, because it's been dubbed on Hulu.
right?
Yeah.
And I looked, and it said that it wasn't available until a certain date in April.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I was watching it as it was like as the dub.
Simulcast,
Well,
whatever.
I was watching the Japanese. as it
Mario's
was
taking a
releasing.
fat piss.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Fat piss. I can hear through
I
the
can
wall.
hear through the walls.
All
Damn.
right. Thanks. Putting him on blast.
Eddie says I started watching Texas Chainsaw Man.
Texas Chainsaw.
The Texas Chainsaw Man.
The Texas Chainsaw Man. But
Damn, that's scary, Loki.
yeah.
Huh?
I was watching Chainsaw Man as it was like being released in Japanese.
Yeah.
Because I just want to watch it as quickly as possible. But then it was getting dubbed, and I started watching a little bit of the dub, and I was like, oh, this is actually a pretty good dub.
Pretty good.
And
Kiddo.
I never finished watching it in dub. I think I only watched like 3 episodes, and I was like, I've already seen this.
Eddie says good. First episode's 10 out of 10. Love it.
Oh yeah, the first episode's really good.
But so I wanted to watch that, right? But it wasn't dubbed. I was like, damn. Okay, what am I gonna watch? I'm like, you know what? Lexi told me before I got to keep watching Hunter x Hunter. I'm like, all right. But I mean, it's like, dude, there's so many times where like we get to a good part and then all of a sudden, they stop and they're like, let's go train. I'm like, all right, but you know what? I'll get through it. I'll get past it, whatever. So I started watching on the flight. I watched season 5 again, right? And I'm like, okay, watching, getting introduced to the Chimera ants, which is awesome. I'm seeing all the different Chimera ants and everything. I'm like, damn, this is actually pretty cool. Okay, it's interesting characters.
Okay.
And then I got hooked by a certain moment that happens. I'm not going to elaborate on it. All I know is that there's a moment where the episode ends with something very sad. And I, watching this in a plane with my AirPods on, right? On my laptop, it's quiet.
Yeah.
It was a 4.5 hour flight. And we're deep into this flight. Quiet. Some people are snoring over there. I see this moment happen, and I literally go, like, no.
Yeah, this grown man on this plane,
and like,
and it's so quiet.
I couldn't believe what I saw, and then it got me hooked.
Yeah,
I had to find out what more happens, and then I've just been watching and just appreciating Hunter x Hunter. So. For everybody that said that I should keep watching, you guys were right.
Yeah, we were all correct.
We were all correct. Yeah.
I'm glad you're still watching, and I can only...
Who's my favorite character? Well, that's an interesting question.
Oh, yeah, who's your
Well, I do love Leorio.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen much of Leorio.
I know. I remember when you first started watching, you were like, Leorio's my guy.
Leorio's my guy.
That's my
I love
man.
it. He also is the same voice actor
That's
as
my guy
Levi.
right there.
But I haven't seen much of Leorio. I will say our buddy Momo was like, dude, you got to keep watching. I'm like, damn it. He's implying something. Okay.
You just have to keep watching. Yeah, and then you were like,
Leorio's still going to be my guy.
You were like, yeah, I missed
But I just love Hisoka so much.
No, I literally was about to say that. I was going to, because before you were like, I really like the Phantom Troop, but now I haven't seen him in a while. And obviously you know that we were all like, no, you need to keep watching. Go. Now he's singing.
I'm in a shower now. Good night. And guess what? Whenever Hisoka showers, he has to put on the freaking marks on his face every single time.
He has to draw on. He does makeup every day. He has to draw on the what is it? It's like a star. It's the star and like a teardrop.
Yeah. But yeah, enjoy your shower, my friend. It was so nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we get to continue our discussions, man. Stop being a stranger. Join us on this adventure to Attack on Titan. What's happening? What's going on now?
I don't know. I thought you had to pee, and I thought we were closing, and then
I know.
got a second wind, and
well, I mean, I peed on myself, but
oh, got it. Like actually, that jar that was for my
damn AJ.
that was for my soda.
All right, hey, you haven't dropped your phone today. You just dropped your fidget ring instead.
Yeah, I just accidentally just.
Yeah. Damn it. All right. Let's get out of here, guys.
Yeah, I still got to drive home.
Impressive voice acting chops. Yeah! Eddie, thank you so much for the praise, my friend. I love it. You were such a supportive friend.
He's so nice.
Just keep in mind, man, when you make it big, keep in mind.
Don't forget about the little people.
Don't forget about the little people. Exactly. Don't forget about us, little people.
We're the little people.
I want you to go ahead and reach out and be like, hey, so I'm a director now, and we'd love to have you audition for a certain role. I'm like, dude, yes. And I would appreciate it.
So adamant.
Yes. Say less. I'll be there in when you need me. Well, actually, calm down.
Actually,
we'll schedule it.
Sure.
We'll see you in 2 weeks. And guess what? Those 2 weeks, each day, I'm just going to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
No, you're going to be like preparing. You're going to be so stressed out, overthinking everything. Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be great. Okay, I'm going to do a good job. Okay, whatever. And then when you see me, Eddie, and we're going to go into audition, and then you're going to be sitting there like the council of all these important figures, and you can be like, all right. Any last words? And I'll be like, wait, what? And he goes, are you ready? And I'll be, oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. I'll be reading as character. And then you're going to see this look from me. And then I'm going to be like, my mind, damn it. I forgot the lines.
No, I forgot everything.
I forgot the lines. All right, and I'm saying, all right, lines, please.
Lines.
And then
Like,
you're gonna be
every
like,
2 seconds, you're gonna be too nervous.
okay.
Like, I've been thinking about this way too much.
And then I'm gonna, just through sheer shyness and fear, just resort to a Boston accent.
Yeah. You're gonna just have a completely
right.
different accent and be like, oh my god.
Reading as Grisha. So Aaron, you be a good boy now, and then you be a good boy, and when I get back, I'll let you go see what I've been working on in my cellar.
Marcella.
Okay.
Be like, cut.
Hold on. What is going on here?
What is the accent you're doing?
What are you doing?
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. You said you wanted Grisha, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. All right.
Yeah. I'm doing my Boston.
Yeah. Boston Grisha, which makes a ton of sense. But yeah. So there we go. Hope I did well, Eddie. All right. Yeah.
Hey.
No, I'm kidding, bro. But thank you so much though for the kind compliments, the kind words. You're pretty cool yourself, my friend. I'm going to get the grammar police on you. Oh. Bring it, my friend. I'll grammar you up. Let's get out of here, guys. So that wraps up another episode of the Attack the Talk podcast, Season 3. Remember, guys, new episodes are streamed live on Twitch, Sundays at 7. Make sure you guys follow us at Attack the Talk Podcast on Instagram for all of your updates. We will update you guys every week if anything changes. New episodes are also published every Friday on our many platforms. Don't forget to check out that link tree and to check out those platforms. Thank you so much for the support. Lexi created that awesome link tree. And again, that link tree is available in our Instagram profile page at Attack the Talk Podcast. Huge shout out to our editor, NatePlaysBad. Nate, you are the man. Thank you so much, my friend, for all of the work you put into this podcast, for getting this episode ready to go and published. And we appreciate you so much, my friend. You had to go ahead and experience a little bit as we have updated you guys this week. We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And it's something that was a little bit of a nuisance that our friend Nate had to really deal with. And so, Nate, I appreciate you doing everything that you can to make sure that we had that episode available, because there was a chance that this episode was essentially going to be a lost episode.
Yeah.
But Nate found a way. Nate was able to fix the error. Pretty much we had a corrupted file. And
all right.
but yeah, pretty much there was a corrupted file, and Nate did his thing, man. So Nate, huge shout out to you. Make sure you guys go support Nate Plays Bad. He does so much for this podcast. Nate Plays Bad on Twitch and on YouTube. So check him out. Let's talk about some merch. Now, in our link tree, we have a link to Collector Sesh. That is collector_sesh for those of you who want to see them on Instagram. Check them out, guys. Also in our link, click that link. It'll take you to their online store. They have a bunch of different awesome anime merch so you guys can go ahead and browse and search through. And if you're interested, go ahead and purchase, guys. Go ahead and, support our awesome anime just fandom that we have around us. I mean, it's
Community.
like we have people here who are just literally, they're selling stuff, like they're selling anime merch, bro. Like, they have some cool stuff, I will say. I mean, when we saw them, right? Mm-hmm. And they're super kind people.
Yeah.
So go ahead and check them out. They also have a second Instagram at Geeky Statues, where you can go ahead and see the different figurines they have available. But check out Collector Sesh, check out Geeky Statues. And also in our link tree, we have a link that will send you to a Fandomion store. You know, it's just this little store I've heard of when, you know, they have just a ton of different anime merch, right? Not just anime merch, but they also have other stuff as well. You guys know, for anybody that's a Star Wars fan, Star Wars Day was recently, and Star Wars announced a lot of different projects that's coming up, right? So that, you know what that means? For anybody that's Star Wars fans, that means that you can be expecting a lot of future Star Wars merch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have all this awesome anime merch.
There's not already enough.
You know, there's going to be merch for other different, you know, shows, anything else, you know. Mm-hmm. Lexi says she's been given updates about different alternative clothing wear as well.
Yes.
And so For anybody that's interested in even checking any of that out, go to our link tree in our Instagram channel at AttackOnTitan Podcast and click that link. That link is a Fandomion link. It'll take you to their online store. Guess what? Lexi also has a promo code for you guys to use. If you guys are interested in purchasing any of that stuff, Lexi has a code for you to use. That is Lex, L-E-X. Lexi is so conceited that she decided to use the code as her name.
No, they made it.
I'm kidding. But so Lexi has this promo code, L-E-X, for 10% still?
Yes, it's still
10% off of your purchase order. And it goes a long way, guys. If you guys go and use that code, not just Lexi is there to help you guys, it also helps Lexi out as well. Any updates, Lex, on Fandomion?
So far, not any more updates since the last time.
Okay. So check them out, guys. Now, we also got to go ahead and talk about some art. Now, in our link tree, guys, we have a link that'll send you to our friend Caesar, right? He has a link. We have a link that will take you to his Etsy store. His name is Caesar. You can find him on Instagram at art_of_Caesar_. Check him out, guys. Go and support him. He has some amazing art. I mean, his style is awesome. Yeah. Check it out, guys. We also have some friends that join us here that are very, very creative, very artistic as well. I mean, we have Eddie that joined us. We had Marco that joined us. You know, Kyron joined us. You know, and they're all have their own kind of creative art that they're doing. You know, we know that Eddie has drawn up some awesome art. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Marco. And then you have Kyron, who has his awesome photography, right? Portraits by KA, right? Yes. Check out Portraits by KA. If you want to check out the awesome photography that Kyron has been doing, our friend here. Check it out. And then our friend Eddie as well. He has art specific Instagram profile at ArtofCesar. Check that out. Eddie also has content over on his YouTube channel at Eddie Hinston. Check that out. And then we have Marco, right? Marco Momone. Marco. It's Marco with a 0, right?
Yeah, the last O is a 0.
The last O.
Oh, wait, no.
And Marco.
MARC 0 MAMONE.
Yeah, so it's Marco.
So the first O is a 0.
Mark 0 Momone. Check it out, guys. So you guys go ahead and see the art that he's been drawing up. But like I say, guys, we have some awesome creative minds that join us here every week, and we appreciate you guys so much. And stay creative, keep creating the content, and we appreciate you guys so much. And just one thing that's awesome too, I do want to say, is that you guys have been putting in some serious effort and just trying to spread the word, and that means a lot to us. We've talked about how it'd be awesome to go ahead and have like just more friends join us, you know, to be able to go ahead and strengthen and build this community. But for you guys to actively go ahead and do that is awesome. So, you know, we've talked about it before in the past and how this podcast created such an awesome, strong community, and this bond that we have, you know, amongst ourselves, right? It's special. And the fact that you guys want it to grow and continue to go ahead and just build off of what we already have, which is awesome, an awesome relationship, it means a lot to us. So you guys mean the world to this podcast. You guys are a part of this podcast.
Yeah, you guys are.
And keep spreading that word, guys. Keep supporting us, and you know, we appreciate it. You know, we guys know that we want to go and support you guys as well. And keep looking forward to the future Q&As and the future poll questions that we have on Instagram. Those are always fun to go ahead and dive into. They become, you know, an hour-long part of our podcast episodes.
They become a whole nother thing.
But yeah, guys, go ahead and continue supporting us by, you know, just answering the Q&As. We love
tell your friends,
hearing about your guys' point of views, your guys' responses, getting that awesome feedback, as well as even just being surprised. Like today, we were surprised by the poll results and seeing what was the top voted
that was very
poll
surprising.
choice. So it's something that's super cool for us to go ahead and find out the mindsets, to find out, you know, the feedback, the reception of what we're getting from the responses as well as the poll results. So keep a lookout for that, guys. We do those every week. Shout out to the loyal listeners. You guys know the Attack the Talks Levi squad. Shout out to you guys. We appreciate the OGs, the day ones. And with all that being said, we're finally going to get out of here. I want to say that this is AJ, your host, saying that I love you guys so much. Eddie's saying that I have a new super awesome AOT AMV for Hanji. That's awesome.
Check it on his YouTube.
And yeah, this is your host, AJ, signing off, saying that I love you guys. I hope that you guys had a great Easter, right? I hope that you guys have a great week. I will see you guys all next week.
Maybe with a special guest, maybe not. You have to show up and see.
and something to look forward to.
Love you too, Eddie. Thank you so much for the well wishes.
And I'm AJ signing out. Go ahead, Lex.
Bye, guys. I am Lexi signing out. Wishing you a good week. Bye.
Deuces.